Hey, podcast pals. Dana here to give you a friendly reminder before we get to our award-winning podcast that now is the best time to get your furnace tuned up before we take a shot to the face with cold Minnesota weather. My pals at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning currently have same-day and next-day openings, but they won't last long. By the time October rolls around, if your furnace craps out, you'll be freezing your private parts off while dealing with side eye from your significant other and pets for not calling sooner. So give Standard Heating and Air Conditioning a call today. Check this out. You can save up to $70 on your tune-up with Standard Heating. Visit standardheating.com. That's standardheating.com to book today.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
Her last name is Tration.
Tration?
And then first name is Penny.
Penny.
Yep.
Penny Tration, can you please meet your party at the pickup and returns desk? Penny Tration.
Last name is Kenny1, and first name is Elsa.
Attention customers, Elsa Kenny1. Again, Elsa Kenny1 to electronics. Thank you.
Can you call for my brother to meet me up here real quick?
I don't know who your brother is.
His name's Dylan.
Who, Dylan?
Yeah, Dylan. He goes by Dill, though. You can just say Dill.
What's his last name?
Doe.
Doe?
Yeah.
Dill, Doe.
Showtime.
What the hell was happening there, Josh, at this ungodly hour?
We got to thank Navy Vet Lawn Care Jesus out of Port Canaveral, Florida. He sent me an email with a link to Instagram page. I'll do my best to give this out correctly. _DUBVT. _DUBVT. And this guy has a whole bunch of videos where he's pranking folks at stores to make announcements with fake people.
Doing the old Bart Simpson, huh?
Oh, yeah, we used to do that growing up, too.
You got your Phil McCracken, you got your bend over, your dick hurts. What was the second one? I didn't catch it. Elsa something?
Yeah. I want to play that for you.
Were they at the airport or at the Best Buy or something?
That was at a retailer. So here.
Elsa, I couldn't catch it.
Okay, I want you to hear it again.
All right.
Her last name is Tration.
Tration?
And then first name is Penny.
Penny Tration.
Penny Tration, can you please meet your party at the pickup and returns desk? Penny Tration.
Last name is Kenny1, and first name is Elsa.
Kenny1.
Elsa
Kenny1.
Oh, for Christ's sake. That's a tough one.
Elsa Kenny1.
That is a tough one right there.
They have one a long time ago. I think it was Gator Jesus that busted me. He broke my heart with the trust that he broke. He said, hey, can you please give a shout out to my cousin? He just got called up from the wild. And I was so excited for him and his family. And he had a great text. I mean, he really set me up. I can't say what he got me with, but basically Boners was in it. And as I said it, I realized it. At the very end of the clip, you hear a guy, when he does the dildo bit, the look on his face was priceless because he heard himself say it, and it was the same thing, like, you son of a bitch, you got me.
The grown man who believed there was a human being out there somewhere called Dildo, it dawned on him as he barked it into the microphone.
Right as he said it.
Yeah, you were fooled.
I've never been tricked that bad before.
You were suckered into saying a filthy name, filthy fake name on the radio. It's nothing but fun. You know, Don, Key Dick, things like that.
Yeah.
We all played that game at one point or another.
The Howard Stern Show, they're legendary for some of theirs. It's hard to believe they were able to get folks to fall for it. But like I said, I fell for it. Never thought I'd fall for something like that.
Thanks, everyone, for punching in our program here on this beautiful Tuesday morning. Thanks for dialing up the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. A good old-fashioned prank can brighten anybody's day. I was just reading about a prankster who likes to leave notes on random cars just to confuse the hell out of unsuspecting victims. What were some of the things? He'd leave a note on a random car that said, I tested positive, call me. That sounds like fun. The DNA test says you're the father, we need to talk. You know, imagine finding that on your motor vehicle. But that kind of thing can backfire on you, too. I've told you the story about my pal, Joey. Joey had a run of bad luck when it came to women. He was hooking up with all these gals in his neighborhood. He never wanted to go outside the neighborhood for sex, Josh. It was all within a couple of blocks.
That makes sense in case you ever have a sex emergency. You got to have it right that second.
So he had a couple, 3 girlfriends in his neighborhood. And unfortunately for Joey, they all turned out a little squirrely. You know, one in particular, you know, they had their little casual hookup thing happening, but things got a little squirrely, really bad with one of them, to where when he thought he could just walk away from this casual relationship, she said, "Oh, no, we're in love." And he said, whoa. One of those deals, right? Where suddenly you've got someone who you thought the both of you had the same line of thought. You know, you thought that both of you were on the same page, but no. So when he said, hey, you know, sorry, I thought we understood this was a casual thing, she reacted angrily. It got to the point where when Joey, in the middle of the night, Joey's motion lights would be going off and whatnot, and this woman would be standing on his property.
Ooh.
Yeah. Another random hookup happens with Joey, right? And in the middle of the night, that woman is leaving his house, 2, 3 in the morning. Goodbye, thanks for the hookup. And this other woman is standing in his driveway. Creepy stuff, right?
Boy, he's got bad luck.
Exactly.
He doesn't know how to pick them.
Right. He sucks at that. So my pal and I, we knew that Joey was going through this deal. We decided to prank him, but we never in a million years thought he would believe it. So we're driving past Joey's house one day. We stop by. He's not home. And knowing he had these little miniature nightmares going on with the neighbor ladies, we left a note on his door. And we simply wrote, "I know what you do, and I don't like it." That's what we wrote on the note, left it on his door. We thought for sure he would know it was us just poking fun at him for his current situation. We never said another word about it. A year and a half or something like that goes by, and the three of us are all traveling in a motor vehicle together, and I turned to Joey and I said, "I know what you do, and I don't like it." And he slows the vehicle down. Joey's driving. He slows the vehicle down, and he says, "What did you just say to me?" And I said, "What?" And he said, "How do you know about that?" I said, "Stupid ass, it was me and Donnie who wrote the note. What do you mean? You took that seriously?" And he says, "For Christ's sake, I've been sleeping with a revolver under my pillow for the last year and a half. That was you guys?" And we said, "Yeah." He said, "For Christ's sake, I called the cops."
Oh, my God.
That's a pretty good one because most people probably would have something pop into their head like, oh, how did they know about that? And how much do they know? Who all knows?
So be careful if you're going to prank folks with little notes. Sometimes it can backfire on you, but that's fun. Imagine, Josh, when you were 25 years old, if you came back to your motor vehicle and there was a note under the windshield wiper that said, "I tested positive, call me." I mean, come on. You would go, "Oh, no. Which one is this?" All right.
Never had anything that I'm trying to think if I could relate to your buddy Joey as far as all the creepiness he had with girls he was with. Had a couple kind of weird things, but nothing even close to that.
Well, yeah. For Joey, like you said, he seemed to have bad luck. But there was the one who really stood out. I mean, that's not right. You can't be opening your front door at 3 o'clock in the morning and there's someone standing in your driveway,
That would freak me out.
And I mean, you not just someone, but one of your past hookups is standing in your driveway staring into your property. And again, before the motion lights come on, it's just pitch black out there. So this individual is standing on his property in the absolute pitch darkness, just watching for anything. Yeah, I'd be a little nervous too. Now that I'm looking back, my God, we were very insensitive. We shouldn't have done that.
I had a friend stop by here one morning, he was waiting for me by the time I got here, and that freaked me out a little bit. Just seeing a dude sitting in a car, like just waiting right by the front door.
You got to give someone a heads up.
Yeah,
on
no
that.
heads up. He just wanted to surprise me. He was up. He was in the area, and he figured, I'll just stop by and say
That
hello.
ain't right.
Man,
That's been a few times where that happened around here. I mean, that's the only friend that's done that to me.
What do you mean, people in the parking lot
Yeah.
for no good reason?
Absolutely.
I suppose, sure. I've seen a little bit of it. I've experienced that face-to-face, head-to-head, however you say it. And, this little bit we pulled on Joey, he was perfect. He was a perfect victim because he is very jumpy. Very jumpy. Even when we were teenagers, 16, 17, 18 years old, watching a Friday the 13th movie, he'd be the one that would jump right off the couch, you know what I mean? So he was perfect for that. Oh, man. Hey, help me out with something. Has there been a rash of DWIs in the building lately? The last few days, there's been multiple electric bicycles parked out front the radio station.
I've noticed that, actually, yeah.
I'm going to guess it's I assumed it was our boss because he takes those here sometimes, but he has his own.
Yeah, he's got his own scooter.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. Somebody stole it.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, that's
That
right. Somebody
sucks.
ripped it off.
Oh, man.
So I'm going to guess it's him.
Huh.
Well, and I also noticed yesterday that somebody had the 93X van parked across 2 parking spots.
Oh, at least 2.
Did you see how bad that
yeah,
parking?
that was a rough one.
I'm a little suspicious because it was a booze cruise Friday night.
It sure was.
But, the people that were there are pretty responsible.
They are.
So I don't know who did somebody steal it for a couple of seconds? Because that's happened before.
Mm-hmm.
Or what?
Or are they just in a hurry? Like the booze cruise is finally over. It was rainy. We're finally over with this. I'm dropping this thing off. I'm getting my own car and going home. I don't know.
Yeah, somebody, or it was their first time operating a vehicle bigger than a sedan. That was a bad parking spot.
It was pretty comical.
Multiple electric bicycles, the rental ones you see all over Minneapolis, the green and white ones.
I'm surprised they're there still because that's happened before and we're on campus.
Mm-hmm.
So, the college kids are always grabbing those up.
Yeah, all the kids that live over on Como, they're going to class. They come and grab it and head on over.
I figured maybe somebody got pinched. Well,
No, that's not too uncommon to have those out there.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, we have seen them before. It's just been a long, long time.
They don't typically stay around.
I mean, they're fun. They're fun. I mean, that's what inspired me to buy my electric bicycle. One of those green and white rentals was in the building or out front the building. Josh and I brought it inside and rode it around this empty space that we have here. We've got a lot of empty space and empty hallways in the building. Josh and I rode it around the building, and I thought, okay, that's it. I got to buy one of these damn things. That started my little love affair with electric bicycles and electric scooters. A lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a blast. We've done that a few times, taking the Lime scooters out around St. Paul and stuff.
Oh, they're fun.
Oh, hell yeah.
There's a lot of them, and actually my son got hit by a car on one. Luckily, everybody. So he was a brand new driver. The kid wasn't paying attention, and he blew a stop sign.
He ran over your kid while he was on an electric scooter?
Yeah. Luckily, he wasn't hurt too bad. It just kind of nipped him real good.
Oh, shoot.
But there was a guy there. I mean, he was out of control a little bit. We were going through downtown St. Paul, see this guy. But I've never seen anything so beautiful. The way he was able to maneuver that and operate that thing, it was like watching ballet or something. This guy was awesome, very dangerous, but very talented on that sucker.
You should see me on my scooter, Cubby. I think it's poetry in motion. Speaking of pranks from a minute ago, Wisco male nurse Jesus has texted in to say he was pranked at work. Fellow nurses played a prank on him by sending an autonomous message from a website that alerts people they may have been exposed to an STD. He said, I got sick to my stomach. Well, that means it worked.
Yeah.
That means it worked. I like the story that our old bro, our ex-coworker, Grant, pop, sit-tip, boom, pop, Grant, told us a great story once about his electric scooter. The rentals, like we were discussing, the ones you find in Minneapolis, maybe St. Paul, I don't know. I know I see him around here. Grant, big drinker, likes to drink. doesn't want to drive a motor vehicle, so I think quite often him and his broskies would go downtown, have a few cocktails, and then when they wanted to go to the next tavern, they'd jump on those rental scooters. So I guess a warning, not everyone loves the rental scooters. Grant said he was whipping down the sidewalk in Minneapolis once and came around a corner and a car passed him. A couple complete strangers in the car passed him, on the highway. Grant's on the sidewalk, they're on the road. And one dude leaned out the window and just simply said, "Nice scooter, bitch." And Grant said, "What the hell?"
There was a funny reoccurring theme in the first season of a show called Platonic with Seth Rogen. It's a fun show.
Yeah, I love that show.
And he hated them so much. Anytime he'd go by one, he'd have to destroy it, basically.
Kick it over, throw it in a dumpster.
It was kind of just a throwaway bit, but for whatever reason, that got me every time.
It's very funny because it was so random, too. It had nothing to do with the plot. He'd just be walking on the sidewalk. There'd be one. He'd kick it over real quick and then just continue on his way.
They do drive people nuts, though. For sure. Just because of the folks that are driving in the middle of the road and not paying any attention. They can get cooking.
Now, texts are coming in on pranks. 651-989-9393 if you got a good one. Texts are coming in on pranks. Yeah, this is a good one. Back in high school, a listener says, some gals I work with put a for sale sign on my car with my phone number on it. I got a few phone calls, couldn't figure it out right away. I guess maybe they did not notice, this listener did not notice the for sale sign on their car right away. So a few telephone calls came in. Yeah, dude, I'll get a look at that Prius. What do you want for it? They couldn't figure it out right away.
Didn't you do that to someone, or have somebody do that to you? I remember you saying something similar to that.
Well, I mean, I have sold multiple cars. I sold multiple cars, if that's the way you want to put it, on my property over the years, because I lived on a busy highway, very visible.
I thought there was something, or maybe one of your buddies just put his car there without asking. I thought there was something there.
I can't think of what you're going for. But anyway, my last house was a very visible spot, high traffic area. So my pals all wanted to sell their cars in my front yard, which I was totally cool with. Probably 7 or 8 vehicles and a boat were sold on that property just because it was a good spot. Maybe you're thinking of one of my pals who was selling his pickup on my property wouldn't answer the telephone calls he was getting from potential buyers, so they kept knocking on my damn door.
It sucks.
And finally, I think, Josh, maybe this is what you're going for. I put a note on the car that said, please don't come to my door. The seller of this vehicle is an alcoholic and can't get out of bed before 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's why he's not here. I threw like an insulting note onto the car.
HVAC Delivery Jesus said he got pranked by a girl in Vegas. He left his phone open. A girl he was talking to grabbed the phone, took a picture of his wedding ring, her wedding ring, sent it to his mom saying, "Hi, I'm Ashley, your new daughter-in-law."
Oh, man. Yeah, mothers don't think joke right away. They don't think prank right away.
No.
They're going to think the worst. That's effing good.
By the way, speaking of Ashley, our coworker Ashley, we've got 3 more work days without her.
Oh, thank God.
We've got this Friday and next Monday off, so she'll be back next Tuesday. So we're there. That 6 weeks did go by fast.
It really did.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be great to see her. It was great to see her on the boat cruise. She surprised all of us.
That was awesome.
She said she wasn't going to make it. She said she had high hopes to be able to get there, but just the little kiddo wasn't cooperating. And then sure enough, she kind of shows up and pulled a "you think I'd miss this party" routine. It was awesome to see her.
There's a couple classic texts coming in, the old for a good time call and then put a number in there if somebody
Man.
We called one of those once. And the person obviously was not pleased and at beginning a lot of phone calls. It was that type of
You
prank.
call the number off the bathroom wall.
Yeah. We were at Bennigan's. Spent a lot of time at Bennigan's back in the day.
Yeah.
The Bloomington one. And a friend came out and he's like, "Ooh, hey, take a look at this. This is a phone number we got out of there." So we had to call. And it was a lady and she was absolutely furious. So we had to apologize. I didn't know, are those legit? But
You had to find out.
Yeah, you got it. I mean, it could have been like a Craigslist ad, or something.
Sure, back in the day, you had the personal ads in the Star Trib and I don't know if they're still there. Maybe they are. I look at the sports page and that's about it. You had the personal ads. You had things like the Wild Side. Was that what it in the city pages?
Yeah, it was something similar to that. If it wasn't Wild Side, it was something wild for sure.
Where you'd say, I saw you at First Avenue. You looked hot. We should hook up.
The missed connections.
Missed connections was part of it, and then also just the straight up, hey, I'm a white male looking to urinate on another white male. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
That missed connections. I used to read that all the time, just in case there was a budding romance out there.
Maybe
somebody's talking about me.
I went through it. Maybe they were looking for me. Sure. That's
especially in dry spells. That was the time I'd look the most. Did I miss an opportunity somewhere?
Right.
Never missed one opportunity.
Bennigan's.
No opportunity was ever there.
You just kept looking for Bennigan's. Did someone look for me at Bennigan's? So anyway, we used to take advantage of that when we were young guys, and we did put one of our pals' phone numbers into the, seeking a partner for something filthy. So we put our buddy's phone number in there, and we printed something like, man looking to be punched unconscious and banged until the sun comes up, right? Something graphic and awful. And he did field a few telephone calls, and we had some fun with that.
I was at a girlfriend's 5-year reunion, and she went to a Catholic school too, not the same one I did. And a lot of the guys were really excited for this dude to show up. And I thought it was because he got signed by the Yankees. He was a pitcher. Now, unfortunately for him, he never got called up. But
he was a legit pitcher.
Yeah, he was a pitcher, and he got signed up by the Yankees. And so he was an attractive guy, and he was doing some photo shoots. He got seen somewhere, and they're like, hey, I'm a talent agent. How about if we pay you some money? So he's doing some photo shoots, and he was in super tight uniforms. They put him in a football uniform where they cut off the jersey to expose his stomach.
Sure.
And I didn't realize it because they were hiding it, but a bunch of the guys had the city pages, and they showed it to him, and his picture was used for a porn ad. And he didn't know yet. So he's seeing this thing for the first time. He didn't know any better. He wasn't a pro model or anything. He just got stopped at Southdale or something.
Never read the fine print.
No.
In his agreement. They used his photo in places where...
Oh, I'm so glad I got to see that reaction.
Oh, that's great. Here's your first crack at $1,000. Your first of 5 every weekday as part of the 5K a day madness that we've got cooking around here. Text the national keyword bonus, BONUS, to 95819. Not our regular text number. The number is 95819, and the word is bonus. And that'll be your chance to win. We'll text you back to confirm your entry. Data and messaging rates may apply. Please don't text and drive. Good luck with the 5K a day skis. All right, while we're talking about all this silliness, raunchy humor. You a fan?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sometimes I notice I'm getting a little more prude as I get older, where sometimes I'm like, all right, it's a little much. But I do like raunchy and gallows humor. I do enjoy both of those.
Gallows?
Yeah, just dark sense of humor sometimes.
Oh, I've never heard of that before. A dark sense of humor. Love that. I do. Raunchy has its limits for me, and it has for years. It's not just something that is happening to me as I age. I had maybe a low, bar for raunchy humor. There's a line.
There's certain movies that I enjoy, comedies where there's scenes I'll skip now.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like, all right, that's a little much.
Absolutely. Cracked.com put together a report on the raunchiest scenes in movies and television. Here are some of the highlights. The hair gel scene from There's Something About Mary.
That's one that I'll skip past
Do
now.
you?
The first time I saw it, I couldn't believe that was in a movie, first and foremost. And that's part of the humor, right? You're completely shocked. So, I I laughed my ass off when I saw that the first time, but now that I know it's there, I can fast forward through that.
I mean, you skip through the masturbation scene, or you skip through just Mary appearing
Just
with her...
Mary appearing.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was shocking. It was for 1996, I think, is when that movie came out. I don't recall this in Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Was that the third in the series?
Oh, good question.
Because it was the first one
Something
and then...
mystery. Was it the second one?
I don't know. Because I liked the first two. The third, I thought, was... Although the third was Goldmember.
Yes.
Yeah.
Goldmember was terrible.
I liked parts of it.
Yeah, The Spy Who Shagged Me was the second one.
Okay, that's funny. I don't recall. It says here, Austin Powers drinks poop. I don't recall.
Yeah, I remember that, where he's like, it's a bit nutty. Do you remember
now
that
I
scene?
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, that didn't bother me too much.
Here's one that, grossed me out from the get-go, and it still grosses me out, even though there's nothing to it. So I don't know why I have such trouble with it. Animal House, when John Belushi's character Bluto impersonates a zit popping.
Yeah, and that was the first time I saw that, it was like zit time for me. I was at the age, so I'd been on the front lines for a real one. That did discuss with the mashed potatoes.
Yes.
Or whatever. That did disgust me.
I don't like that. And now that I think of it, when a movie character has like an obvious zit, like just a real live one with the white head and everything, that does gross me out. Dumb and Dumber, Jeff Daniels, Harry Christmas, whatever the hell is that? Harry Dunn, sorry. Jeff Daniels' character on the toilet.
That doesn't gross me out. That was funny.
Yeah, it's an all-time classic.
The noises and everything.
I mean, it's gross.
His facial expressions.
It's
the feet, he's pulling his feet up,
It is gross, but it's so perfectly done.
Yeah. He acts that very well. Yeah, that one doesn't really gross me out.
And by the way, a side note, Jeff Daniels, who portrayed Harry Dunn in Dumb and Dumber, the actor behind this infamous scene, said that Clint Eastwood once told him that exact situation happened to him on a date.
It happened to you and me with the colonoscopies, that's for sure.
Oh, I've had exactly what Harry Dunn went through in that movie. I've experienced that, I'd say, over 100 times in my life. Over 100 times.
Outside of the 2 colonoscopies I've had, maybe twice. I've been very lucky in that regard.
Because this is a clean living.
Well, mine now, with age, it's gone the other way. But yeah, I've only had that a couple times.
All that clean living has done you some good. My favorite part of that scene is not when he, is racing into the toilet, not when he's racing to undo his belt, because God knows I've been there so many times, not when he sits on the... It's when he's in the car beforehand, and he's driving, and he kind of has this stupid smile on his face because he's about ready to go on a hot date with Mary Samsonite, right? Mm-hmm. And you hear his stomach go, brrr. And his change of facial expression is so perfect. Just skilled physical comedy there on Jeff Daniels' part. Okay, raunchy jokes in movie and television. The bridesmaids diarrhea scene.
Oh, I love that.
That kills me every time.
Don't look at me.
Yeah.
That one's tough for me to watch.
Oh, is it?
I think because it's girl poop. I've got a thing about girl poop.
Oh,
She's
man,
sitting
where
in the
Maya
sink.
Rudolph just stops in the middle of the street.
It's happening.
I've got a thing about girl poop.
Oh, I thought that was good.
I don't know this one. Crazy Stupid Love is the name of a movie or a television show. I don't know which.
I hadn't heard of that one either. I take that back. I've heard of it, but I don't know
It's a
anything
movie.
about
It's fantastic.
And it says here, a 17-year-old girl gives a 13-year-old boy her nude photos.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty creepy at the end of the movie. This young kid has a crush on the girl, the older girl, and she goes, hey, I'm a little old for you, but then she gives him, like, a packet of nude photos.
That's a different type of gross.
That was just
disturbing.
creepy, yeah.
Uh-huh. Ghostbusters, Dan Aykroyd gets some noggin from a ghost.
One of my all-time favorite movies, though I should say franchises even, with Ghostbusters, seen the movie dozens upon dozens of times. It was only about 3 years ago I realized he was getting a BJ.
Right.
It never occurred to me.
Josh, I was playing a Ghostbusters video game over the weekend, and I thought of you, and because it popped up with a warning that said, this game has a lot of light flashes and stuff like that and bright lights, so if you're sensitive to seizures, you shouldn't play it. I go, oh, Josh will never be able to get to experience this. And I know he loves Ghostbusters.
I do love Ghostbusters.
Sad.
One of the worst movies I ever sat through, Zach and Miri Make a Porno. There's a scene where they're shooting a backdoor love scene that's anal, and a cameraman gets a nasty surprise. I don't remember that. That's just one of the worst movies.
That was tough to watch. I know the exact scene they're talking about, and man, they really went for it at that one.
And then finally on this,
there's one ahead of that, number 8.
Sorry. Sorry, I skipped over number 8. Never saw it. Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, Jim Carrey is birthed by a rhino.
I thought he came out of the butt.
Yeah, he came with the butt of the rhino.
So he's pooped out by a rhino.
An animatronic rhino.
I've heard of the scene, never saw it.
Families watching on in horror as a human being comes out of what they think is a live rhino.
Yeah.
Oh. And finally, from the American Pies, it just simply says, this one time at band camp.
Oh, that wasn't disturbing as a young man. That's pretty hot when somebody says something like that. There's a couple on there that aren't on there that should be. I know we have differing opinions on Van Wilder. I love Ryan Reynolds.
Movie.
I really liked the movie. Maybe if I watched it now, I wouldn't feel the same.
God,
but that dog at Claire scene.
Yeah, that was not necessary.
I can't watch that. Absolutely disgusting.
And the thing is, it was disgusting in the theaters, but then when you got the DVD and it was the unrated version, there's a lot more to it.
Are you serious?
Yes.
There's more to it?
Yes.
That didn't need to be in there.
No.
I thought that was one of the worst movies ever.
That part I can't watch. That's disgusting.
I don't deal well with vomit in movies. I can handle the goriest of the gory, but I can't deal well with vomit or vomit scenes. Even though in real life, I mean, Josh, if you had the cack in the trash can right there next to me, I think I could deal with it just fine. But whatever, it's to the point where even in the Team America World Police, which is very graphic and very gross, but they're string puppets, so it doesn't trouble me at all. But still, the scene where Gary is drunk in the bar before he goes outside and screams for Lisa and vomits all over town. Which I love that scene because it's a puppet. If it was a human being, I wouldn't be able to take it. But this is going to be odd, but I'm going to go ahead anyway. When Gary's in the bar, he's standing next to the drunk old man with the beard, and the drunk old man with the beard is explaining to Gary the difference between an a-hole and a foot. And the drunk old man has some puke in his beard. That troubles me. For whatever reason, it doesn't bother me that Gary is seconds later puking gallons of vomit all over the street. It's the fact that the old man has some caught in his beard. I can't look at that.
Yeah, no, that's gross. But snot, I think, is kind of worse.
That's
in some of those movies.
I'll go along with that too. Snot, vomit. I get troubled at times. That's fun right there. That's just straight up fun. Lots of company today. Janel, Klein, Willi, Myles, Glen Perkins. All of that kicks in at 7:30. We appreciate you joining us. We're going to go in another direction here and come back with the stupid news in a few minutes on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Hey, podcast pals. Dana here to give you a friendly reminder that now is the best time to get your furnace tuned up before we take a shot to the face with cold Minnesota weather. My pals at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning currently have same-day and next-day openings, but they won't last long. By the time October rolls around, if your furnace craps out, you'll be freezing your private parts off while dealing with side eye from your significant other and pets for not calling sooner. So give Standard Heating and Air Conditioning a call today. Check this out. You can save up to $70 on your tune-up with Standard Heating. Visit standardheating.com. That's standardheating.com to book today.
Thursday Night Football is on, and it's only on Prime Video. This week, the Seattle Seahawks face the Arizona Cardinals in an NFC West showdown. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern with football's best party, TNF Tonight, presented by Verizon. Not a Prime member? Not a problem. Simply sign up for a 30-day free trial. It's the Seahawks and the Cardinals, Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Prime Video. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
Hi, I'm Joe Salciha, host of the Stacking Benjamin Show. Every week, we talk to experts about personal finance trends.
While we were talking, I had to jump on ChatGPT real quick.
ChatGPT said, cut up the cards.
It said, hey, knucklehead, weren't you just talking about investing in dollar cost averaging? Why don't you save a few bucks?
You never knew personal finance could be this fun.
If you're bored, don't start messing with your investment.
Get a hobby, man.
Get into photography.
Buy an airplane.
Guess what investment I made? The one that keeps on giving. Stacking Benjamins. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
I'm getting there. You know, we've covered a few subjects already. We have. We're skilled like that. We've covered a few subjects already. One being pranks, good old-fashioned pranks you might pull on your pals now and again. Here's a listener who switched. One of our listeners switched the M and the N on a coworker's computer keyboard. That's cute. I wonder how long it would take me to figure that one out, Josh. I bet it would take me all day.
Yeah, I've heard people do that with on cell phones with autocorrect. Right, where you have a word, and then anytime you type this word, it autocorrects it to something else. You program it, and it can drive people nuts.
Holy smokes, I wouldn't even know where to begin with that, but yeah, I would go bananas.
Not that sophisticated, Josh, but in high school, a buddy of mine wanted to play Snake on my phone. Remember those old Nokia phones that had the game Snake on it?
Sure I do.
He acted like he was just playing Snake, and he was sitting over there playing with my phone, but what he was really doing was changing one digit in every phone number in my phone book, so that anytime I go to call Josh, it's one digit off, so it goes to somebody completely random.
Jesus.
I know. It was diabolical.
Well, I mean, I could see how that would work, because even if somebody did that for you, I know one phone number, and it's my wife's because she made me learn it.
Exactly.
Outside of that, I could tell you the phone number I grew up with, Pizza Hut, that kind of thing. But other than that, yeah, I don't know anybody's phone number.
Right, you just go through the phone book. You find the name, and you hit call.
I know your wife's number by heart as well.
God dang it.
So this dude who switched the M and the N on his coworker's keyboard, he said the victim, it took him 3 hours before he fingered it out.
I don't know if this was true or just kind of a joke, but there was a rumor that the Clinton administration took all the W's off of keyboards at the White House when George W. Bush became president.
Oh, wow. Seems kind of petty.
Here's another cute prank a listener pulled on their friend. He or she says, we posted a free kittens poster around local businesses with my friend's telephone number on it. We found it funnier than she did. So the telephone's ringing off the hook, people looking for free kittens.
I've seen that move pulled as a similar way where somebody posts a big photo of like a big video game collection and said, my son is ungrateful. I'm giving him away. I'm giving away all these video games. He doesn't deserve them anymore. First person to call can have them for free, no money. And then they put like a buddy's phone number there, so his phone just gets destroyed with phone calls.
This text says, on Sunday, my husband's buddy dropped off 2 roosters.
One more time?
Her husband's friend dropped off 2 roosters at their house. You don't understand that concept?
No.
They got 2 roosters. You know what a rooster is?
Sure I do. I
brought it to their home and dropped them off. You don't understand.
Dana, are you with this?
So what, like the roosters woke them up?
Oh, my God. It's just they dropped off. They woke up to a couple of roosters.
Oh, that's it? Oh, okay. I thought it was something more like there's something I was missing.
Well, that was just me, I guess.
I'm sorry I blew up. We also got to talking about calling numbers on the bathroom wall a few minutes ago. Josh called the number on the bathroom wall. Great song, by the way. What song, bathroom wall, what band, Faster Pussycat, what year, 1987. What happened again when you called?
See, when they went to bed, there were no roosters.
Yeah.
But when they woke up, there was 2 of them.
2 roosters.
On their property.
On their property, yeah.
All right. What happened when you called the bathroom wall number? I forgot already. You said earlier.
Earlier, an annoyed lady answered.
Oh.
And she knew pretty much immediately what was going on.
This is interesting. A listener says, I was at Rockfest this year, and one of the porta potties had somebody's telephone number in there. And it said, along with the telephone number, it said, take a picture of your poop and send it to me. Refinery Jesus telling that story.
Yeah, I don't like that bit.
I don't think I would go along with that.
Yeah. I don't want poop. I mean, back in the day, there was people that would do that here for whatever reason. Surprise poop photos. Sometimes they'd print them out and
Not
leave
funny.
them around. Yeah, I agree. I don't like that.
Not funny at all.
Yeah, it's one step my buddies and I have thankfully never crossed of sending each other photos of poop as a prank or a joke. I'm proud of that.
And finally, one of the subjects we tangled with earlier, raunchy movie scenes. And we talked about the Something About Mary with the splooge and the hair, and the Dumb and Dumber where the guy has the emergency diarrhea. This scene also troubled me, Josh, although I love the movie and I love the character. The Borat scene where he and his bro are wrestling naked over the photo of Pam Anderson. That was a tough one to watch.
Yeah, but how about the censor bar?
Yes.
That got me with
yeah.
how large the censor bar was over Sacha Baron Cohen's privates.
They're going through that hotel ballroom.
Oh, son of a bitch. I remember when that movie came out, the night it came out. Josh, you went to see it quite quickly. And you told me this is one of the funniest things you've ever experienced in your life. And then I went and saw it, and I didn't like it. But the second time I saw it, I understood everything that Josh was feeling that evening. I did. I don't know why, for me personally, it took me 2 times to fall in love with Borat, but oh, damn, now...
There's plenty of movies like that.
Yeah.
Where every Will Ferrell movie for me outside of Old School was kind of like that.
Right.
The just the balls on that guy. I would be absolutely terrified to do what he does to prank people.
Guy can keep a straight face.
That's for sure.
All right, on to the stupid news. This guy here seems a little off. Seems a little off to me. A 75-year-old school bus driver in Pennsylvania goes by the name of Harvey. He drives around the grade school kids, the 5 to 12-year-olds. Harvey's up against some criminal charges. Police say he threatened the children on the bus. They also say that he punished the children on the bus by cranking the heat until they sweat their little asses off. That's funny.
I wouldn't want to be riding around in a big yellow sauna like that. I'm kind of surprised. I don't remember our buses ever having good heat.
No.
Yeah, now I think about it.
I don't think my grade school bus driver, Licehead, would have ever done anything like that, but that's funny.
We never had kind of a angry bus driver. They always seemed to be pretty fun, actually. Never once.
We had Licehead. He kind of kept a straight face no matter what. He just sat there with lice running wild on his head. He was pretty stoic. But then we had a lady bus driver a little bit later on. She was kind of mean. Anyway.
Couple of texts real quick.
Yeah.
This person says, I know the bus. And that's from School Busing Kai Jesus. And Angry Bus Driver Jesus has texted in and said, hello.
He gets a little pissy, huh? So again, this 75-year-old bus driver in Pennsylvania, he's hollering at the kids all the damn time, and his favorite way to torture them was to crank the heat until the kids were just pouring sweat. Parents say that when their children would get off the bus, they'd be, quote, crying and extremely sweaty. The bus driver, again, Harvey is the name. He would demand that the kids close all the windows, and then he'd twist the heater on full blast. They say here, inside the bus, it would get up to 95 or 100 degrees. Is that for real? 100 degrees in that damn bus?
Well, because it was a warm day already, so I'm sure that's how that worked out.
Harvey would tell the kids, quote, I'm going to cook you all.
Oh, man.
And he would also threaten to bring a paddle and whoop the hell out of every damn last one of those kids.
Yeah, I'd like to know what set this guy off.
Go find a new profession.
Nobody's sure why old Harv turned into such a prick. The local cops decided that he should be charged with simple assault and reckless endangerment. And they took his bus driver's license away from him. 75 years old, listening to grade school kids scream every morning and afternoon. Might have had something to do with Harv coming undone. I'm not defending him. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you got to have a temperament, right, to work with kids of certain ages.
Dude, Licehead had that temperament. 10, 12 of us in the back of the bus just screaming in unison, Licehead! 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 Facial expression never changed.
Aaron texted in and said his high school bus driver looked like he could have put away a 24-pack before noon.
And he might have. Oh, no.
And you picked him up. You dropped him. Jesus brings up a good point. You know, at 75, Kenny really could have been very cold. That's true. Old people tend to get cold.
Oh, Harvey, you mean? Harvey, the bus driver. Yeah. I mean, I'm a cold individual, generally speaking. This here, I think what I have for you next, this here is some realistic gameplay right here. That's what you gamers want, right, Dana? Realistic gameplay?
That's what they're going for.
Not Dana.
No, I play old school stuff, but for everybody else who's a gamer these days, they want it as real as possible.
Oh.
I still like old school Zelda, Mario, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry. I went ahead and labeled you, and it wasn't accurate at all. In stupid England, a gal was sitting on her ass at home playing Grand Theft Auto, and F me running out of nowheres, a car being chased by police smashed into her house. Dude.
Yeah, I would think this new, what are they, like a downloadable pack is incredible.
This DLC is a little out of control.
The gal goes by the name of Emma. She's 44. She said, you can't make it up. It was not funny at the time, but it was afterwards. And it was perfect timing, too. Emma said she was being chased by the police in the video game. And then suddenly she heard engines revving and screeching brakes right outside her house. Apparently the real bad guy in real life in a real car in a real high-speed chase with police smashed the piss out of the entire neighborhood before crashing into this poor gal's bedroom. And it could have killed her dead. She was sitting on her bed playing her video game.
Yeah, this is divine intervention and irony working together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think, what video game would you want to play where it comes true? Maybe Grand Theft Auto when they're with a prostitute or something like that?
Yeah. I played a version of Grand Theft Auto where I hung out at the Boom Boom Room all day long while girls got naked.
They did have sex with prostitutes in one, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. Next thing this Emma gal knows, police were shouting at someone to put their hands up and put the weapon down. Very dramatic. The cops said 8 derelicts were arrested that night. It was a gangbang. Word is the whole disaster was brought on by a firearms investigation of some kind. It turned into a round of cops versus bad guys bumper cars. A lot of destruction in the neighborhood. It wasn't just Emma's house that got smacked. She said Emma said it was easily the most dramatic episode she's been a part of, but it wasn't a massive surprise because her neighborhood blows.
Bad neighborhood, huh?
Bad neighborhood, jag-offs racing around all the time, knocking into things. She said it's like Blaine.
Poor lady.
Yeah.
Am I the only person playing Grand Theft Auto where I actually had fun obeying all the traffic rules? Like, I thought it was cool stopping at red lights and putting my signal on and all that kind of stuff.
I do know there are people that post videos of them playing Grand Theft Auto by the books, by following the code of the law.
I did go along with that once or twice, Josh. I did, just out of curiosity. What would it be like just to drive around and stop at every red light and use proper lane changes? I did. For about 5 minutes, it was able to hold me.
Yeah, I don't know why I like that so much. Just a driving simulator, I guess.
Matches your
mobsters.
Matches your vibe.
Parks and Rec, Jesus said a couple weeks ago, a buddy of his was playing Call of Duty, and then a SWAT team showed up in his backyard. They were responding to something.
Jeez. Oh, my God.
Does he live up in Blaine?
Must be.
This is embarrassing, and this will encourage some of yous, I think, to have a plan for Pete's sake if you want to try and fool the authorities. Again, we're in Pennsylvania. A numbskull got in trouble with the local law enforcement, and he tried to give the cops a fake name. But stupid ass couldn't spell it. I'm going to go ahead and say this, Josh. Just about anywheres, it's suspicious if you can't spell your own name. That's going to come off shady.
I'm with you on that.
So this all started with a regular traffic stop. Dude was driving around town with what they call here an obnoxious exhaust sound, louder than all hell. Local cops pulled him on over. He's driving a Saturn, if that matters at all to you, a Saturn.
Do they still make Saturns?
I don't know.
Let me look that up. I haven't seen one in a while.
Here's the fun part, and bear with me now. This is a process. Dude had no driver's license on him. So the cops asked Stupid to identify himself, and he said, John Matlin. Matlon. Oh, well, that's just me spelling it. He didn't spell. He told the cops his name was John Matlin. When they asked for his date of birth, he said, let's see, what is it? 9/20/72. The cop said, okay. Went back to the car. They looked it up. No record was found for a feller named John Matlin, born on September 20th in 1972. Next up, they asked Stupid to spell his name. He couldn't do it. And the cops gave this guy plenty of chances to come clean. Plenty of chances. They asked him to write down his name and date of birth on a piece of paper. 3 separate times they asked him to do this, and he did, but his writing was completely how do you say that, Josh?
Illegible? Illegible, yeah.
3 separate times. They said, okay, go ahead. Write down your name and your date of birth. 3 times, he made sure it was completely illegible. Come on, man. That's just so weak. He then told the cops his middle name was Rorden. And at this point, I think he's just pulling sounds out of his ass.
He's trying to get too creative.
Yeah, Rorden.
You don't need to be that creative.
Okay? They asked Stupid to spell Rorden. And he said R-O-N-D. And it's pronounced Redale. What? What now? Back to his last name, Matlin. The cops doubled back and asked him his last name. And he said, yeah, it's Matlin. But this time he says it's pronounced Madeline. Finally, after humoring this clown long enough, they took him into custody.
I think at that time I'd be so embarrassed on how dumb I was coming across. I'd have to just say I was drunk. At this point, I'd rather get a DWI.
Let me get this straight. Your middle name is Rorden. It's spelled R-O-N-D, but it's actually pronounced Redale.
Yes, that is correct.
Dude's all over the friggin' place. Eventually, it was found out that the dude's real name is McRae, and he was carrying a big bag of meth rocks. Also, police say once he was in custody, he took to, quote, whining like a dog.
The Saturn, according to Google, hasn't existed until 2010. Since 2010.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. The car, the Planet's still
Planet's still there?
Yeah.
The motor vehicle, they stopped building them in 2010, huh?
I have to learn how to use my phone or video camera, I guess, to be specific on my phone, because my dogs were howling for some reason yesterday. I have no idea. Both of them got each other going, and I wish I recorded it. I've never heard them go that crazy.
What about your phone?
I wish I knew how to access it quicker. I couldn't get to my...
Oh, to record
I couldn't
it.
record it quick enough. I never use my camera or the video camera on there.
The best girl in the whole world, Megan Marie, my old Springer Spaniel. She was a howler. whenever the police would go by or an ambulance with the sirens blaring. I always thought it was so much fun when Megan Marie would cut loose with the howling. Look out, teenaged Iowegians, down that away in a town called Jessup. The city of Jessup upped and announced that they have banned TPing, which they've defined here as, quote, using toilet paper to decorate homes, trees, or other structures.
Oh, okay.
Isn't
that banned everywhere?
I have no idea.
I think it's frowned upon in most counties.
Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to do that, really.
It is vandalism.
They say
it took a while.
They say there's now a zero-tolerance policy towards TPing, and perpetrators will be arrested and charged with things like trespassing, criminal mischief, illegal dumping, disorderly conduct. And then if you're caught TPing, you'll be looking at fines and community service. Penalties will be ramped up for repeat offenders as well.
Seems kind of far for something like that. Maybe just make them clean it up.
Says here, usually TPing is done as a prank by bored young kids. So, Josh, you were just saying this seems like a little much. The Jessup police have heard those comments, and they've said this may seem extreme to some, but this happens year after year and to the same persons. That is harassment. They put it in capital letters, so I delivered it in that same fashion.
Sure.
There was something very satisfying about throwing a tight spiral with a roll of toilet paper and just getting it caught right up at the top of that tree and seeing it, kind of then the rest of it falls down.
Fun fact, I've never thrown a tight spiral. Doesn't matter what I'm throwing. I don't know how that's possible. Tried it a million different ways. YouTubed it. Had people tell me. Can't do it.
You are somehow able to take a football.
I can make it look like a bad punt.
Yes.
But just without the distance or height.
You grip the ball in the proper way. You use the correct grip that should be resulting in a spiral, but the football turns end over end.
I can't figure it out. I must have like a weird twist or something because I've held it correctly, I've been told.
I've seen you hold it correctly, you deliver it absolutely incorrectly.
I'm not even joking. I've mentioned this before. When the dads are warming up their sons for football, I panic.
You sent your wife out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent her out there. All right, I'll find another dad. Hey, do you mind? Oh, God, I got a rotator cuff. It's
Have
really
you ever
bugging me.
considered showing up with your arm in a sling?
That's genius. I
Yeah.
never thought about that.
You do. You panic when the dads start warming up their kids before football because you know you cannot do this.
Oh, no, not at all. And then I just think the times I have done it, I'm like, oh, we should kind of go over here, just to kind of get away from the crowd.
Behind this building.
Yeah, make it more of a bonding experience.
Right.
And why don't we wait until night?
Josh, I've watched you attempt to throw a football many times. And yes, your grip is textbook. But the problem is you don't throw the football, you push it.
Yeah, I think that's part of it.
That's why when you throw a baseball or a softball, you push it. And that's where the plan goes to hell.
Somebody says you throw like a girl. No girl has ever thrown that bad. Don't insult girls.
We do have the 93X Brad Johnson autographed football in the studio, Josh. I could bring it there and you could practice during commercial breaks.
That's autographed by Brad Johnson?
Yeah.
I had no idea. Mm-hmm. I can catch. I just can't throw. Do you think, TPing? That's a classic, right? I mean, the cheerleaders would do it to the football players. Homecoming, that was always kind of a big thing.
Right.
I wonder if, planning production levels for the year, if companies like Charmin, if they have a line item for how much to produce for TPing. They have, those companies are usually so detailed. They know what goes where and things like that. I wonder if they produce more around homecoming.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
I wonder if any cheapskate dad has ever cleaned up the toilet paper and rolled it back up and said, well, we're still going to use this.
I could see it. So Jessup, Iowa has put a ban on toilet papering houses, structures, whatever. They've put a ban on TPing. It's a zero-tolerance policy, so it sounds like an end of an era down there.
Yeah, it's too bad.
We always had fun with it.
Yeah, I get it. We when my son played hockey, Cam, we got TP'd, when the hockey season started. I always thought it was kind of cool. My brother and cousin, they played football. They were good athletes. We got TP'd around that time, too.
Kids are creative. They'll find the next new thing.
We were talking pranks earlier. One of the greatest pranks ever pulled on me personally. I mean, I can't call it one of the greatest pranks, but it certainly got me. We TP'd the piss out of some of our pals' houses when we were in our late 30s, for Christ's sake. We just got drunk one night and went and TP'd some of our bros' houses. Next morning, we all met for breakfast, and one of the guys that we got, he's sitting there, and he kept this straight face and said, "Yeah, nice job last night, boys." And at first, we all said, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about." Then we cracked up laughing. We couldn't keep a straight face. And we said, "Yeah, dude, sorry, we got a little drunk last night." And he said, "Well, you don't have to apologize to me. Apologize to my wife." And we said, "Well, what are you talking about?" He said, "She was furious when she looked out the window this morning and saw the teepee hanging from all the trees. She got up on a ladder to climb up there and clean it up. She fell off the ladder, broke her arm." And, I mean, I wasn't the only one to buy it because dude delivered it perfectly and with a stern face. And I thought, oh, for Christ's sake, we finally went and did it. We broke one of our buddies' wives in half. But it was a joke.
I saw a friend do that to some, we were at, it might have Chuck E. Cheese. It was an arcade for sure. And some kids came up to my friend. And my friend, this guy was picked on all the time. He was one of the nicest guys in the world, but he was a little guy. And so he'd get picked on anytime we went somewhere. And they made a "your mom" joke. And he perfectly, I mean, some of the best acting I've ever seen, started crying.
Oh, no, not this bit.
Yeah, and then the older kids, they felt like, you could tell they felt kind of bad. And then he's like, "My mom had her arms ripped off in a farming accident." I screwed this up.
No, I know where you're going.
Yeah,
with
it was something about the mom giving them hand jobs, or it was something like that. I left that out, which kills the whole story. But so they made a joke about that, and he mentions that his mother had her arms ripped off in a farming accident. It was delivered perfectly. It was so believable I had to ask him, did she really have that like as of yesterday?
Dude.
It was perfect.
Even though you might have gong showed something there in the middle, I didn't notice because I've heard and I've seen that prank played out a few times. Back when the Yo Mama jokes were big, 15, 20 years ago, there was a bartender that I knew who could tell that little phony tale about his mother. Someone would make a joke about his mother. Someone would dump a Yo Mama joke on him. And he would, again, facial expression, body language, everything was perfect. He would act terribly insulted until the joke teller would say, "Hey, dude, what's your problem?" And he'd tell this elaborate, miserable story about his dead mother. I mean, I watched him make people tear up. It was so friggin' perfectly delivered and so well done. So I
would. If I threw out a "your mom" joke and somebody said their mom recently passed or something, I think I would die in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
I would feel so bad.
Now, back to TPing. You haven't lived until you TP the inside of someone's house.
Never even considered that.
If you're looking for something new, we did that when we were ninth grade kids. And I can't believe we didn't go to jail for it. But there was this house we constantly TP'd, right? Constantly. We drove these people so crazy. So crazy. They had a couple of little kids. They had a couple of kids our age, which is why we would TP them, because we didn't like the kids they had living in the house that were our age, but they had a couple little kids as well. And those little kids thought that we were cool. They thought that we neighborhood bad boys were cool. So one night, we watched the parents and the older kids leave. They left the young kids at the house. We go to the young kids answer the door. "Hey!" They thought we were cool. "Hey, mind if we come in?" Sure. They let us in because we were the cool kids, and then we TP'd the inside of the house and left. So the parents came home to a toilet paper around their television, around their lamps, around their beds, or all over the bathroom. I thought that was a cut above, Cubby, and I don't know, that's just me.
Yeah, I've never even heard of such a thing.
I thought that was a cut above.
Chris Rolfe Jesus has texted in and says, "Your mama's so fat, when she goes camping, the bears hide their food."
I don't think I'd ever heard that one before.
That's new to me, too. Thank you for that.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
They pitch to Gibbs. Touchdown! It went from Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and he pitched it to Gibbs. And like Ben Johnson would call, it was a gadget play, and boy, was that a thing of beauty.
It was a thing of beauty, he said. The Detroit Lions beat the Baltimore Ravens. How do you say their name?
Ravens?
The Detroit Lions beat the Baltimore Ravens on the road last night. And they used a cute little trick play to score one of their touchdowns. The Lions putting a lot of points on the board, 52 last week, 38 last night. Josh says once the Lions and Vikings meet, the Vikings have no chance.
Never once did I say that.
The Lions will dominate, according to a pretty good ball game. I watched some of it.
Sure.
You have a good time with the Monday Night Football last night, Josh?
Didn't watch 1 second.
Oh, my God.
I wanted to, but I just wasn't able to make it work.
Twins and Rangers start a series tonight, but more importantly, if you're a baseball fan and you're dialed into the pennant races and all that, the Guardians and Tigers begin that 4-game series tonight. The two clubs who are fighting it out for the division title. Guardians-Tigers in Cleveland, game 1 tonight. And they're going to go ahead with it. Nickel beer night tonight in Cleveland.
Are you kidding me?
What are you doing, booking a bus pass for Cleveland?
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Sounds like very dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Nickel beer night tonight. Before we go, because we got to get to Cubby's news, we were talking about TP and houses back in the day. Nothing but fun. I didn't even mind it when our place got TP'd. It was when we got egged that I got pissed off.
Yeah, that's
messier.
That's not cool. That can do some damage.
That wasn't really what pissed me off, because I knew I wasn't going to clean it up. My folks will do it.
Okay.
What pissed me off is it was a couple of my bros who allowed it to happen. You know, it's not pleasant when you find out, especially as a young person, when you're a little more sensitive, when you find out one of your bros will sell you out. But the story was, two of my pals were looking to get lucky with a couple of older gals at our high school. And the gals told my bros, well, yeah, we'll give you some, but you got to tell us where the Bourne boys live. And my pal said, why? Why do you want to know that? Oh, because they came to one of our beer parties a couple weeks ago and acted like dickheads. We don't like those guys. So if you show us where the Bournes live, we'll let you have some. And they said, okay. They live right over there. And the gals brought a carton of eggs out of their backpack and egged our house. You see what I'm saying there, Cubby?
That's not cool at all.
No.
Sometimes guys do that, though, to get some action or whatever. I've had to tell that to my son.
Especially when you're young.
Oh, yeah. Like, just so you know, this could happen now that your friends are starting to get girlfriends.
They sold us smooth out and the friggin' house got egged. So these guys could go to second base. Cold as ice, some of these spellers back in the day. On the topic of TP, and Dana said this when we were talking about TP and houses. Dana said, I wonder if there's been anybody so cheap that they collected the TP that was hanging from their trees, brought it into the house to use it. One of our listeners texted in and said, hell, I use it and then I throw it.
Yuck.
Josh's news is coming up next.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Hey, podcast pals. Dana here to give you a friendly reminder that now is the best time to get your furnace tuned up before we take a shot to the face with cold Minnesota weather. My pals at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning currently have same-day and next-day openings, but they won't last long. By the time October rolls around, if your furnace craps out, you'll be freezing your private parts off while dealing with side eye from your significant other and pets for not calling sooner. So give Standard Heating and Air Conditioning a call today. Check this out. You can save up to $70 on your tune-up with Standard Heating. Visit standardheating.com. That's standardheating.com to book today.
Actor Michael Rosenbaum, he knows some of the most talented people in the business.
And we try to bring you candid, open interviews, not just actor stuff. Julie Bowen is fantastic.
You know when you leave a job and you know you haven't done your very best job? I hate that feeling.
And if you're here for the wonderful Sarah Silverman, you came to the right place.
Comedy dies in the second guessing of your audience. You just have to keep writing what you think is funny right now.
The Inside of You podcast.
If you really love the podcast,
follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Follow us. It's free.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
You know that jerk across the street who's always got it in for me? Every year, that guy waits to see what decorations I put out and then finds a way to top me. I string lights, he strings better lights. I put out Frosty, he puts out an Elf Village. I put out Dracula, he does nothing, and I look like a jackass.
I want to implore parents, please speak to your child if they've been a victim of this kind of situation or they have information. Hope that you contact police department.
New York police put a stop to a pint-sized prick accused of masterminding a sextortion scheme which preyed on his middle school classmates, of all people. Investigators said the suspect pressured peers, all under 16, to send explicit images, then flipped those files into blackmail bait, demanding gift cards or even more explicit content in return. And investigators worry there may be hundreds of additional victims who haven't yet come forward.
This is a young kid pulling this?
Middle schooler.
Look out for this one.
According to officials, the operation started on social media where victims were duped into thinking they were chatting with a girl. Once photos or videos were shared, they were told if they didn't fork over gift cards, usually under $100, or cough up more compromising material, the teen would make the material public. So far, all reported victims are boys, though investigators can't yet rule out girls were also snared. Many targets believe they were flirting with someone their own age, only to discover they'd been catfished by a classmate.
Yeah, man.
Law enforcement noted that financial sextortion crimes, just like these ones, have been on the rise in recent years.
Keep an eye on that friggin'
What a
kid.
douchebag. Hope they throw the book at this guy, or kid, I guess. It just sucks. Parents have to have conversations like this, about this type of person out there.
Yeah, it sounds to me like someone's headed to juvie.
Yeah, let's hope so. Of course, digital douchebaggery isn't limited by borders. On the other side of the Atlantic, authorities say a teen hacker was more interested in dollars than dongs, like in that last story. A London teen accused of tricking companies' help desks into resetting passwords found himself at the center of a sweeping data theft and ransom case and now faces the possibility of spending up to 95 years in prison.
Yikes.
According to prosecutors, the 19-year-old was part of a hacking group known as Scattered Spider, which ran an elaborate scheme to steal sensitive information and then pressure executives by threatening to destroy or leak that data unless hefty payments were made. In 2023, two financial service firms ended up making the biggest payouts, handing over $25 million and $36.2 million in ransom. And when all was said and done, the Department of Justice reported victims paid a beehole puckering $115 million overall. Although altogether, the operation hit 47 companies across the U.S., breaching at least 120 computer networks, even managing to slip into the U.S. federal court system.
When you said something about 95 years in prison.
Yeah.
I wouldn't make it 95 minutes in prison.
I mean, you could kill someone and do a lot less time than that.
It's true.
It's nuts. Yeah, $115 million this teen was a part of swindling businesses out of. With claims of a lucrative business investment, a Long Island cop swindled a seriously ill brother in blue out of $200,000, spending thousands on OnlyFans, and then wasting the rest of it. 39-year-old Leonard Kango duped his colleague out of the money he recovered from a serious illness, then burned through it within 2 months. The allegations here represent a shocking abuse of the essential trust between fellow officers, the district attorney said. The disgraced cop promised his fellow officer cash would go into his company, BW Media Consulting, with the ailing friend expecting a return on his investment. But Cagno took his colleague's money and funneled it into a new vehicle, mortgage payments, credit card, and porn subscriptions.
He's living it up.
Yep. Executives behind a nationwide network of strip clubs have been accused of swapping tassels for tax breaks, lavishing a state auditor with perks as pricey as they were risque, including private dances and a sinful menu of erotic indulgences. According to the indictment, the owners managed to twerk their way out of more than $8 million in sales tax over a decade-long lap dance stretch. They reportedly enjoyed favorable treatment during at least 6 tax audits, thanks to a state auditor who accepted no fewer than 13 all-expense-paid trips to Florida, including hotels, meals, and as much as $5,000 a day for private dances at their clubs,
nice,
including the famed Tootsie's Cabaret in Miami. Haven't heard of that one, but apparently it's popular.
Sounds like a keeper.
The hospitality didn't stop at state lines. Prosecutors say the auditor also received complimentary dances, food, and admission at affiliated clubs across the country. In a statement, the prosecutor remarked that these executives shamelessly used their strip clubs to bribe their way out of paying millions of dollars in taxes. If the charges stick, they may soon be swapping champagne rooms for the courtroom, as he's going to be in some serious trouble.
Man, does anybody just have their own money anymore?
Clearwater cops untangled a Technicolor tussle Thursday night after a strung-out Florida escort got silly with string. 48-year-old Crystal Watts, whose resume included being an escort with the name Taylor, decided to douse a fellow patron with a full can of silly string at the OCC Roadhouse. Witnesses report she brandished the can of silly string like a neon six-shooter, bukkake-ing a fellow patron until the can coughed up its final frothy gasp.
What'd she do that for? What are we at, a 8-year-old's birthday party?
Don't know. I mean, I guess some people carry mace. She carries silly string. She then lobbed the empty can at the 33-year-old victim's forehead, leaving him with a laceration. When cops called the phone number tied to Watts, they learned it traces to an escort service. On their website, Taylor poses in sultry snapshots, adding a little kink to the crime.
Word.
As for the motive for the 9 p.m. silly string showdown, that's still shrouded in mystery. The guy wasn't arrested. People saying he didn't seem to do anything, but she just attacked him.
He just sat there and bled.
And took it. Police in Arkansas had quite the show last week when a 30-year-old woman decided to spice up her arrest with a little live entertainment, yelling at officers, and then taking off her clothes right in front of the lucky bastards. Officers arrived at a home to find the woman hopping out of a parked car, already mid-tirade. The yelling and screaming devolved into a Friday flashing. She suddenly tore off her clothes, unburdening her yard donkeys in front of cops.
Heck yeah.
After exposing her bare chest, she was taken into custody. Ever the gentleman, officers helped wrangle her shirt back on before escorting her to less scenic accommodations. Authorities reported the impromptu strip and scream act was fueled by a generous helping of booze.
That is kind of a thing for some folks. Enough rage causes them to get naked. It's a thing.
People do tend to disrobe when they're on something, or
that
you're
too.
Right, just pure anger.
Yeah, yard donkeys, you say.
Yard donkeys.
Sure.
I would also have accepted yard hammers. How about a feel-good story this morning? We need more of those.
Sure.
Or I suppose afternoon or evening if you're listening to the podcast, which we appreciate. I thought this was awful sweet. When 70-year-old Carla Wellnight got difficult news about her health, she didn't let it slow her down. Instead, she kept focusing on what she's always done best.
Getting out the yard hammers.
Spreading kindness through her Mesa, Arizona senior living community. I didn't check out what she's got there, but I'd imagine they're wonderful. She's long been known for her generosity, often stepping in to help her neighbors. She's given spare walkers and wheelchairs right from her home. That same spirit of giving recently circled back to her in a big, unforgettable way when her caretaker nominated her for AARP's Wish of a Lifetime program, and she was chosen. What makes Carla unique is not just her kindness, but also her deep love for heavier rock music.
Dude.
She's a devoted fan of bands like Tool, A Perfect Circle, and Linkin Park, but the group closest to her heart has always been 9 Inch Nails. She even has a tattoo of the band's logo.
I thought she was into heavy rock, is what a douchebag just said out loud. I'm sure of it.
So when the chances came to make a wish, the timing couldn't have been more perfect. 9 Inch Nails was set to stop in Phoenix for a show, so she ended up with floor seats standing just close enough to Trent Reznor to get a little rock star on her. Carla said she believes the best way to live life is when kindness is turned all the way up.
The 2 words, be kind. What you say might cheer them up in ways that you have no idea it does.
She's receiving hospice care at her senior living facility as she battles cancer.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, it was a really nice story they did on her, and she's a very, very sweet lady. Glad you got to see it. That's awesome she's a big rocker like that.
Now you got me over here feeling all emotional.
Got you in the feels? Hellman's is offering to help a Spanish cafe owner repair his restaurant after a customer started a fire because he didn't get the mayo with his order. You may remember this story. Happened last month. According to the restaurant's Instagram statement, August 21st, the incident, that is, began innocently enough.
I'll go the other way with that. If you get mayonnaise on my sandwich, I'll burn your place down.
Yep. I'm not a fan. I was when I was younger. I mean, I like getting potato salad and stuff, but yeah, I don't like to put it on sandwiches anymore. A man had asked for a couple of packets of mayo. Staff explained they were fresh out. Instead of settling for a dry bite, he stormed off, snagged a can of fuel from a nearby gas station, and came back to demand mayo once more.
Come on, man.
When the answer stayed no, he went from hangry to incendiary. He poured gasoline across the counter and lit the place up. Bystanders who saw the attack quickly stepped in and helped detain the arsonist before police arrived, and in perhaps some poetic justice, the guy was the only one who sustained any burns. Fortunately, none of our clients, including young children and elderly, suffered any damage, only material things, the cafe noted. Today we escaped, but a real disaster could have happened, they said. The incident caught local attention, and Hellman Spain offered an Instagram post to pay for the repairs. "We're sorry we weren't there," the Mayo brand wrote. "From now on, you can count on us. Let us take care of the repairs and make sure your sandwiches never run out of mayo again." That's awful nice.
The hell got into that guy?
I don't know. I mean, what was he thinking? Like, he goes across the street, comes back, and some mayo magically appeared?
Yeah.
And stories like that really creep me out because he had a lot of time between going to get the gas and then returning to kind of reconsider what he was about to do.
Yeah. You can't help some of these peckerheads.
A man flipped out on a recent Delta flight, clashing with his larger seatmate over armrest rights. When the high-altitude hothead plopped his old ornery ass beside a plus-size seatmate, he led with an elbow instead of an icebreaker. Then, in the skirmish that followed, insults about Weight Watchers and waistlines flew.
Here we go.
The passenger complained to crew about being hit, while the other, a man in his 60s, whined that the hefty 48-year-old was, quote, too fat to fly.
You really think that I am a fat person in this country and I have never tried to lose weight? I don't know. Okay.
But for all the old guy's gripes about a seatmate's heft, he didn't exactly look ready for a men's health cover shoot.
Also, let's be fair. You are hardly stout yourself. I'm a member of Weight Watchers. Okay. Where do you...
What is wrong with this effing guy?
I don't know, man. What's going on?
We're gonna have a who's fat argument now, or who's not. I'm a member of Weight Watchers. What do you want? I don't even know where to go with these people.
Well, he could have a cookie, but he'd have to count his macros, if that's where you're going with that.
I don't even know what to do with these folks.
Yeah, this guy wasn't necessarily in great shape, so I don't know what he was talking about. A Delta attendant discreetly pulled the prick aside and made it clear his bigger seatmate wouldn't be kicked off. And a gracious passenger across the aisle swapped spots, earning herself and the larger man bonus miles for her kindness and his troubles.
It's like just kids.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Pretty silly. Pretty silly.
Grown folks.
What a jerk.
Coming off like kids.
With that turbulence behind us, we can land on some good news here. For the second year in a row, and the third time in 4, Minneapolis-St. Paul International's been named the best airport in North America.
Well, I told you, some bitches.
I do like that airport.
Do
Not
you?
that I have a lot of experience at others, but
I mean, yeah,
it's nice for sure.
I guess I find it to be a nice enough joint. Sure.
J.D. Power just released its 2025 North American Airport Satisfaction Survey, an annual report digging into travelers' opinions on airports in a variety of categories. MSP topped the Mega Airport list, which rates the largest airports in the U.S. and Canada.
Get her done.
A couple of quick notes of some new television debuts. The streaming premiere of Adulthood on Video on Demand. And tonight on Fox, Murder in a Small Town is back with Season 2.
And now a Minnesota Twins update. We're talking Twins with former All-Star closer, Glen Perkins.
Glen Perkins.
On 93X.
Play ball! His foot! Hacky sack! Let's go! Play of the year right there. Full-on hacky sack. Here I go. Glove. Foot, glove. He only gets one put out for that, though. Got to come in on this one. Oh, my goodness. He got it. Oh. He did it again. Did it pop up and then he got up before it hit the ground? He did it again. Goodness gracious, Jacob Young.
All right, things got a little more crowded in here the last few minutes. By God, it's like we got a sign on the door that says free beer. Janel Klein has made her way into the studio. Hello, Janel.
Good morning.
You're more of a hard liquor drinker, though.
Hey, beggars can't be choosers. I'll take it.
Moonshine
Yes.
is her poison. C. Willi Myles is here. Hi, C. Willi.
What's up?
Of course, Randy Shaver is coming in live from the Romper Room. Good morning, Randy.
No Randy today.
What?
Oh, well, he's here today.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. You got to read your text, man.
Randy's there, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Randy?
I just heard him.
I thought I heard him say something.
I got him potted up. On the calendar it says no Randy today. Remember Daddy Daycare duty?
Yeah, he said he was going to try it out today.
Oh.
And if it didn't work out, he's going to come on the
All
rest
right.
of the week.
All right, no Randy Shaver. It's the final visit for the baseball season from our pal Glen Perkins. Hello, Glenn.
Hey, I think that you guys heard Randy because that was a commercial that he probably recorded like 8 months ago.
Jeez.
He's on a couple of commercials.
This sumbitch is making more money with endorsements at this radio station than he ever made in television. You've noticed that too, huh, Glenn?
Yeah, not all radio ads are read live, guys. Those are the semantics of radio that not everybody understands.
We do have Brad Ryder on the phone, though.
Okay, hello, Brad Ryder.
Good morning.
Hello. What's going on? Well, one guy didn't show up for work today.
I don't know.
One guy didn't show up. Our chats with Glen Perkins, by the way, are brought to you by Xfinity, now introducing the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, one internet price, 5 years guaranteed. This is it, the final, Glenn.
It's been a fun year with you guys. We'll leave it at that.
Glenn coming in hot this morning.
It's been a hell of a run with you, Glenn, but we got to let you go.
All good things must come to an end.
You know what it is, Josh? It happened again. You know what happened with Glenn? Reason we got to let him go? He's making too much money.
Oh, man, that happens around here. I'll tell you what.
That's one of my favorite bits ever. One of my favorite bits. Someone gets let go, and they tell everyone in town, yeah. I was making too much money.
It's not because you refused to do any work? No. No, this is a financial decision.
Right.
They're letting the big dog go.
It was the cap.
And I was making a reference to Randy in the Romper Room because he told us last week that this week he's babysitting his grandkids. And he didn't think that with 2 grandkids in the house that he'd be able to give us 40 minutes of his time. And I thought to myself, how many children did your mother raise, C. Willi Myles, all at once?
11.
11!
My grandma raised 8.
11.
And I also kind of remember that Randy has 2 sons. So they've done this before.
They've done it before.
Boy, and they have wives.
Right?
True.
Right.
Yeah. 40 minutes. You could probably hand off the kids for 40 minutes.
I wish Randy was here so we could bust his balls. See Willi Myles'
It's more
mother.
fun when he's not.
Glenn, are you having more fun without Randy here?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
You know what? He's right.
See Willi Myles' mother could barely even cross the room. There were 11 children in the house.
True story.
And Randy's got to take a day or 2 off because there's 2 over
toddlers.
How many did you end up with, Glen Perkins? 2?
2. We're down 1. Our one daughter is now in college, so we have 1 kid in the house, and it's amazing how different it is with 1 versus 2.
Mm-hmm.
Wait till you get to 0.
I'm happy that it worked out because otherwise, if I had 2 kids in the house, even though they'd both be sleeping right now, I would not be able to come on the radio.
Yes, you could. For God's sake. Yeah, you mentioned last week that one of your daughters is off to college. My damn. What has happened?
We dropped her off. We moved her in on Friday. We left her there on Sunday. Her campus is a half a mile from the ocean. It's not fair. It's really not.
So
I've worked
you won't see her for 4 years.
True. Or 5.
Right. We're going to go back out there in a month. I don't know if she'll be there or not, but I'm going back out there.
She might not come back. I mean, I've heard that's a beautiful spot. I've never been to San Diego, but I hear it's wonderful.
Oh, my God.
Janel Klein had the same experience going to school in Madison. The ocean was right there, out her dorm window. So
I told my daughter. I said, "You're a half a mile from the Pacific Ocean. I was a half a mile from the Mississippi River."
Right. My, how things have changed.
Mm-hmm. I got a friend who would always jokingly refer to Dunwoody Institute as UCLA, the university closest to Lexington Avenue. Yeah.
Right, you say that about Normandale, but Lindale Avenue.
Lindale. Oh, man. Well, Glen Perkins, it's been a lot of laughs. We've really appreciated your company this year. There's it's obvious when we have you on, why you're talking for a living and covering baseball, because you do it well, and we will miss you.
I appreciate that. I'm going to miss you guys too.
But I am starting to get excited for playoff baseball. I still love playoff baseball. I don't necessarily think there needs to be 3 or 4 wild card teams and all that. You know how it goes. They got to make more money, so you got to include damn near everybody. I do have some complaints over modern-day playoff baseball, but I really love the vibe, and we're just about a week away. Yesterday we were talking about this series between the Guardians and the Tigers that starts tonight. That ought to be really good stuff.
I tell you what, that series is going to be the one to watch. And I'm with you on the wild card thing, except for the fact that there's only one team in the American League right now that has guaranteed themselves a playoff spot.
And that would be the Toronto, I don't know who it is.
Toronto Blue Jays.
Toronto Blue Jays.
Yes, and they have a 2-game lead over the Yankees. But it keeps the intrigue. There's not as much in the National League. It looks like there's 4 teams that have a playoff spot, but
yeah, there's only one spot to
everything wide
fill.
Open in the AL Central like it is, or in the AL like it is pretty sweet.
Yeah. Okay.
That series is going to be unbelievable. The Tigers, what did they have? Like a 15-game lead at one point, 14.5-game lead.
Well, they had the best record in baseball for a long time.
Yeah, we covered it. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, didn't we, Brad Ryder? That the Guardians have gone 16-4 in their last 20 games, and
in the last 10 days they've made up 8 games.
Right. So this ought to be great stuff starting tonight. Sure, Twins Rangers tonight, and I'll always watch the Twins, but this series between the Guardians and Tigers should be something special, and lots undecided yet, as Glenn was saying. Seattle and Houston battling it out in their division, Cleveland and Detroit in the Central, New York and Toronto. So there you go. Oh, by the way, the audio we played to start the segment was Washington Nationals outfielder Jacob Young has made a couple of ridiculous catches in the last 2 days. Sunday, he made a hell of a grab against the New York Mets. Is this kind of thing up on our website, Josh?
Yes.
93x.com if you haven't seen it. Warning track ball kind of got Jacob Young spun around a little bit, got his glove on it. The ball pops out of his glove. He kicked it into the air with his right leg like he was playing hacky sack and caught the ball for the out.
His foot! Hacky sack! Let's go! Play of the year right there. Full-on hacky sack. Here I go. Glove, foot, glove. He only gets 1 put out for that, though.
That was Sunday. Now, last night in Atlanta, he snatched a hard line drive. He slid to catch the ball. Once again, the ball squirts out of his glove, and then he got his bare hand out there to make the grab.
Going to come in on this one. Oh, my goodness. He got it. Oh. He did it again. Did it pop up, and then he got up before it hit the ground? He did it again. Goodness gracious, Jacob Young.
So I guess the bad news is he seems to have a problem keeping baseballs in his glove.
But you don't get style points, and out is an out. Yeah, exactly, Glenn.
But he's getting it done anyway. Did you see the videos, Glenn?
I did. I didn't see last night. I saw the one from the other day, and I actually showed my wife and other daughter, and they were impressed, which is saying something because they're not baseball people at all. But incredible. He didn't kick it on purpose, right? He didn't stick his foot out. It kind of just happened.
I guess I'd have to see the replay again. I'm not.
It looked like it was just kind of a coincidence.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Which, I mean, either way, incredible.
Mm-hmm. check those out on our website. Josh and I used to, I know you can't tell by looking at us, but Josh and I were probably at one point or another two of the more talented hacky sack athletes in the county.
And I've never tried weed once.
Right.
Never once. But we still were really into hacky sack.
Where there were two pot-smoking hippies in the building 20-some years ago.
I miss those guys, actually.
They were actually a pretty good time. And after their morning show was done at 9, they would go outside and start kicking around a hacky sack. And Josh and I decided, okay, well, we're done with our show. Let's go see what this is all about. And we had a pretty good time. Glenn, did you and the boys ever hacky sack around the locker room, or would that have gotten you a beating?
In high school, it was popular.
Yeah.
And then I want to say Trevor Plouffe had a hacky sack in the minor leagues that he would play with. I would go do in some downtime.
Okay.
He brought it back from Southern California.
Is he a pot smoker?
Glenn? Hello, Glenn?
Yeah.
We called it pot back then.
You ever try that, see, Willie? Hacky sack.
Oh, yeah. I went to St. Cloud State.
But back then they were playing hacky
Absolutely, man. It's the 80s.
Yeah, all right.
Hacky sack was born.
Janelle Klein?
Never.
You would fall right on the ground.
It would be a very short game with me.
We could stall it. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
You could stall it on your chest.
Mm-hmm.
It would come down. Stall it. I could stall it with the back of my leg. It was so stupid.
Could you guys do it now, like if you tried it?
Oh, I don't think I've done it since
it's been 20
1999
years.
or something.
I'd pull a hammy and a groin.
Yeah, there'd be some strained body parts. But next time you're in studio, Janelle, bring us a hacky sack.
It's a young man's game.
Deal.
I'm sure we'd put on a hell of a show. Back to the big league playoff picture, Glen Perkins. I put this pressure on you last week. I said, since today is your final visit, maybe you'd lend us your expert opinion on who you think we're going to see playing in this year's World Series. How do you see things playing out, even though we've already established that you're not entirely sure who's going to be in what spot and who all is going to make an appearance? And who do you think is going to be there when it's all said and done?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it really matters for me. The Mariners are going to make it to the playoffs. And that's the best rotation in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a pretty good back end of the bullpen, and they can hit. They're hot right now, which I think is maybe more important than anything. If you're hot and healthy, you got a leg up on a lot of other teams.
Mm-hmm.
And the Mariners are hot right now. Their stars are playing really well. Cal Raleigh keeps hitting home runs. Julio Rodriguez has had a great second half. And then the pitching. So they're going to be a really tough matchup.
All right.
Depending on how this Tigers thing ends up, I would never bet against Skubal either.
Right.
So that's interesting, but I think I really believe the Mariners are going to come out of the American League.
That would be beautiful.
It would be. That would be fantastic. I think the nightmare for Major League Baseball would be my dream, which would be the Mariners and the Brewers playing in the World Series.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. That would be wonderful to see a couple of clubs like those two. We certainly don't want to see Dodgers-Yankees again. We certainly don't want to see Dodgers-Red Sox. Brad Wright, are you cool with all that? Brewers, Mariners?
I've said for a couple weeks I've been on Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
I like their makeup. I love their rotation, like Glenn said, and their bats are getting hot right now. I'm on them.
That would be wonderful. Neither of those two clubs that you mentioned, Glenn, have won a World Series. Mariners, Brewers. I'm trying to think of what the second best scenario would be. I wouldn't be upset if Cleveland represented the American League. We've discussed we wouldn't be upset if Toronto represented the American League. Would we, Glen Perkins?
No, I wouldn't mind the Blue Jays. I wouldn't mind the Tigers, the Guardians, or the Mariners. I don't want to see the Astros, the Red Sox, or the Yankees.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
I've seen enough of that.
Say their names.
Goes without saying.
I really love when the super high payroll teams don't win.
Right.
Absolutely.
I hope the Mets don't make the playoffs. That would be amazing. They have like a $340 million payroll.
Yep. Let's let them just die.
That would be awesome if they didn't even make it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, the Brewers have been really good for a while now. That would be a great story with Bob Uecker passing, all of that. And then the Mariners. I think it would be really cool. But yeah, there's a few teams in the American League that I'd be on board with. The Padres are interesting. They have far and away the best bullpen in baseball. I just don't know if their offense is going to be able to do it in the postseason. But I'd be on board with the Padres too.
I'm cool with all of that. I absolutely am. And like I said, I'm looking forward to the playoff. Hey, the Twins went ahead with their rookie dress-up gimmick where they put the rookies. Yeah, so is this always the final road trip is when they do the rookie dress-up bit?
It's always a road trip in September, and that used to be because teams would call up a whole bunch of guys. You could expand your roster from 25 to 40 back in the day. Now you can only expand it from 26 to 28, and the minor leagues go basically the entire major league season now, and so guys are still coming up and down. I know they just sent down Kersey the other day to activate Vasquez. Those kind of things didn't happen, so you'd wait until everybody was there and then dress up all the rookies. Now it's whatever road trip kind of works in September.
So the flight to Texas Sunday night, there were 17 rookies outfitted by starting pitcher Pablo Lopez. A veteran always gets to decide, what costumes. It's like a Halloween dress-up thing. It's usually very funny. Grown men, some of them not terribly old, of course, 20, 21-year-old guys, dressing like trick-or-treaters. Mickey Gasper, perfect that he was dressed as Super Mario. If you know his appearance, I mean, the dude, he looks like you're playing the Super Mario effing video game. Carson McCusker, who's 6'8", was Where's Waldo. He was dressed up as Where's Waldo. Austin Martin, perfect for him. He's got the long hairdo and the beard. He went as Captain Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean. Travis Adams, now you might not be terribly familiar with him, a relief pitcher. He's a shorter little character, so I think it was quite clever that he went as a minion from the program.
Super flattering.
Despicable Me. Brooks Lee, even though he's not a rookie, he played along. He wore an inflatable broccoli suit. The boys have fun. Do you have any you must remember what costume you wore on rookie day, or was there a different gimmick back then, Glenn?
No, I was lucky enough to dress up a few times. I think Brooks Lee might technically still be a rookie.
Oh, okay.
And there's certain thresholds to lose your rookie status, I guess. And I don't know if Brooks made it last year or not. The other good one is David Festa is the Grim Reaper, and his nickname is the Slim Reaper.
Right. Right.
So that was a good one. I dressed up the first time as a Hooters girl.
Oh my God.
That's hot stuff.
My God.
Good morning.
There's a photo on the internet somewhere of that one because Dan Glad and I took a picture together back at the airport when we got home from Baltimore. For that one. I also dressed up as a sunny side up egg.
All right. Was there some story to that? Like you enjoy that breakfast, or they just that was the costume they had laid out for you?
They did that year. They did pairs, and so I was a sunny side up egg, and Matt Garza was bacon.
Oh, the always entertaining couples costume. Sure.
But so there was one year that I did the costumes, and we put everybody in orange jumpsuits, prison jumpsuits, and handcuffed them together.
That's pretty
and then
clever.
We went to Detroit, and we stay in a place called Birmingham, north of Detroit. It's a really high-end town, old money, and there's a police station in town. There's like a really nice brick building police station that nobody ever goes in, I don't think. But we paraded those guys around there, and all of the old people with all of their money did not like these prisoners walking around town.
You almost got them shot.
And so there was complaints everywhere. We had them handcuffed together at dinner. We had them do a perp walk all handcuffed together down the street.
Dude, that's hilarious.
Wow.
So that was probably the best one.
That sounds like the best one, hands down.
And didn't you guys also have a rookie would always be in charge of that pink backpack full of gum and sunflower seeds and stuff?
The Hello Kitty backpack.
I don't know if that's still a thing anymore.
Yeah, I guess I haven't seen it, but it's not like I'm watching warm-ups that often.
My Little Pony backpack when I was the low man on the totem pole.
Oh, My Little Pony. So are you telling us, Glen Perkins, that somewhere out there on the godless internet there's pictures of you dressed as a Hooters girl?
I believe there is, yeah.
Man.
Sweet Jesus.
How comfortable
There's one on
was
my
that?
phone, I know that.
How comfortable was that on a scale of 1 to 10?
0.
Yeah.
Doesn't leave much to the
part
imagination.
Of the whole shtick of this thing is that, and especially back then, the costumes did not fit.
Yeah.
So it was a size or two small.
Yeah.
That sounds
so
like
I was pouring out of that in more areas than one.
Nice. That is hilarious. All right, Glensky. Tough to say adios because we have had so much fun, but we hope you enjoy watching the playoffs, enjoy your off season. If you ever get the itch, give us a call. For Christ's sake, miserably, we're here every morning from 5:40 to 9.
I might have to do that, guys.
We thank you so much, Glenn, and we hope to talk to you again next baseball season.
That sounds great. Look forward to it.
Thanks, pal.
All right,
chats
see you guys.
again. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Thank you to the folks at Xfinity for helping us out this year with our Glen Perkins baseball report. And there you go. Okay, now I can't get this thought out of my head after we were talking about the little twins dress-up gimmick. Janel, I have a feeling this could be the most adorable few minutes in radio history. You got to tell us some of the costumes you went. I know we're close enough to Halloween now to have this conversation. What were some of the costumes you liked to wear as a little kid trick-or-treating down there? I have a feeling this could be great.
I remember one time I think I was Snoopy and my sister was Charlie Brown.
There you go.
I know one time I was Wonder Woman. I carried like a coiled rope.
Ditto.
I remember that.
Sure, the lasso.
Yeah. The lasso.
Did you wear a black wig? Because she was a dark-haired.
I don't know. But I did wear the cowboy boots. I
Okay.
remember that.
Yeah.
God. Clown one year.
Oh. Little Janelski, the clown.
That would have creeped me out a little bit.
I don't know. I can't
Those are all
remember.
pretty good.
Yeah.
I told you this would be cute. Yeah.
Do you guys? We talked about this, I think, one time. But do you guys ever dress up as adults? Like, do you ever go to like a costume party or a bar?
Oh, we used to have some lights out.
So what were yours? Like, what were your costumes?
I was never a standout type at those parties. I wasn't nearly as creative as some of my friends. But we had some blowout, just disgusting, all-night Halloween parties in our 20s and 30s. We had costume contests and the whole works. For me personally, I can't think of one where I really knocked it out of the park, but I had some friends who were terrific. Specifically, maybe the best ever was my buddy Hot Tub. He's kind of a slight little character and messy, dark hair. And then Big New is another one of my pals, and Big New is a big dude. And when they went as the skipper and Gilligan.
Oh, that's good.
That would be perfect.
And New kept swatting Hot Tub over the head with his hat, just like in the show.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm forgetting some great ones.
Yeah.
But we had some fun times back then.
Huh.
Brad Ryder?
Yes.
Appreciate you being there. We don't know what happened to your buddy.
Well, I can take care of kids, so that's all right.
Yeah. You've raised children. You can handle it.
Shaver, he's a one-trick pony.
Last night's Monday night football game, the Detroit Lions got their offense rolling again. They put 38 points on the board. They beat Baltimore 38-30. Derrick Henry continues to fumble the ball, and everyone's worried about Derrick Henry. The Lions look really good.
Yeah, he fumbles at the most inopportune times too.
Yeah, he does. He has at least
mean,
the
it's
last.
It's not a middle of the quarter, first quarter fumble. It's late in the game when they're trying to protect a lead or trying to take the lead.
Great player. I felt bad for him. He's a very likable guy, in my opinion, at least from what I've seen. And I feel bad for him. You could tell he was devastated on the bench. Fans disagreed. Fans who were watching last night's game disagreed with what Joe Buck said about a Lions wide receiver named Amon-Ra St. Brown. Now, for whatever reason, people just can't get off Joe Buck's ass. And a lot of them are just waiting for him to say one little thing that might be opposite their opinion. But so Joe Buck was talking about this St. Brown character, who was one of the Lions' best receivers, one of the best in the league, I think. And Joe Buck described St. Brown as the anti-diva. Joe Buck said you could pencil him in for 100-plus catches a year. He does everything. He's kind of the anti-diva. He blocks. He's a great teammate. Fans quickly jumped on social media to combat that opinion. One individual said, did Joe Buck just call Amon-Ra St. Brown the anti-diva? That guy memorized the guys drafted ahead of him and mentions it any chance he gets. That's the guy. I had heard that there was a player out there who memorized every player drafted before him and mentions it I didn't know it was Amon St. Brown.
Yeah, it's not a diva. He's right about that, but he petty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't mean he's a diva. That just means
that's petty.
Taking it out on the rest of the league.
He is petty's maybe a better word.
Right. Randy Moss did that back in the day when he fell all the way, 17? He said he remembered all 16 teams that passed on him and he was going to take it out on him.
These guys are so sensitive, though. I mean, come on.
That's just petty.
It's petty, but also it's really, really today's athletes are so sensitive to the slightest shortcoming. At any rate.
Because I'm petty.
That's what fuels a lot of those guys.
I'm next level petty.
You are?
Absolutely.
Oh, that surprises
100%.
me.
Well, give us an example of how you're petty.
I can't picture that.
Well, a lot of comedians are petty. I mean, like when you tell us what we can't do, that's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
You tell us we're never gonna work in this town again. I'm working in this town, and you know where I'm not working? Your club.
Fair enough.
And that's to me that's next level pettiness.
Okay.
You know
how they call that guy a diva. They literally showed a clip of him during the game last night visiting his mother's preschool in Germany and giving kids mementos from the team. Did you see that? And he speaks German
I did not.
to them.
No,
and he
I
does
did not.
I guess he grew up in Germany or spent his childhood in Germany, and they said he goes over there once a year and he visits these little kids. It was the cutest thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, but Janel, he probably flies first class when he goes over there.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
That is so true.
And he's got the entire dance roster of Cheetah's nightclub on the plane.
Yeah, not a diva, but petty. You know what I mean?
I did not know that. That's a nice story, Janelle. I mean, so maybe Joe Buck is right that he is the anti-diva.
That's just probably how Joe Buck said it. That's his problem. His delivery is trash.
Joe Buck said it.
Right. Like I said, all people they're waiting for, some of them, is for Joe Buck to say anything that contradicts their. The Vikings Sunday beat the living hell out of Cincinnati, and it says here speaking of announcers, the Vikings finally broke some imaginary thing called the Jim Nantz curse when they beat Cincinnati on Sunday. It says here the Vikings hadn't won a game with Nantz in the broadcast booth since September of 2013. How silly.
Who's keeping track of that?
I never heard of that until
talking about that on the broadcast because they had nothing else to talk about because it was a blowout game.
Absolutely. Start looking up stats.
Yeah, and they said that Tony Romo had never broadcast a Vikings win, and their sideline reporter had never broadcast a Vikings win. So they were talking about.
Wonder the coach used that as fuel. Those three broadcasters don't believe in you guys.
How silly is that? Hey, we got to talking about Halloween costumes. Janelle went as Wonder Woman. She went as Snoopy. She went as, don't tell me, what was the other one? Go ahead and tell me.
A clown.
A clown. One of our listeners sent in one of his best Halloween costumes where he's dressed, Josh, as Cousin Eddie from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a good one.
He's got the motorhome. He's got the robe. He's got the hose where he's pumping out the feces and urine, and he's got the beer in his hand. Very well done. Who the hell was that? Small D, Big Dreams, Jesus.
I got to Google that, or look that up, I mean.
Not bad. What does this say here? Texts are rolling in on this and that. Oh, I didn't know this. Brad, this is big news. What it do? Jesus texted in. The Vikings beat the Bengals so bad, J.J. McCarthy has just been named, again, the NFC Offensive Player.
I love it. That's hilarious.
I saw a couple tweets after that first drive that people were saying Carson Wentz just locked up Offensive Player of the Week.
That's funny.
My God.
A couple of injuries. Nick Bosa tore an ACL. He's out for the year for the San Francisco 49ers. Cowboys wide receiver C.D. Lamb is hurt. His ankle hurts.
And his feelings.
Yeah. After they got thumped by the... Now, this story has come in a little late to the party. We already had a couple of fantasy football punishment conversations before the NFL season began. But what the hell? I'll go ahead anyway. A while back, a TikTok person. What have you put up on TikTok lately, Janelle? What can we see?
It's so funny. I might be the only person in the world that doesn't have TikTok.
I don't either, Janelle.
That would be two of us.
Really? You guys? Oh, good. You make me feel better.
Nope.
Mm-hmm. I don't like social media that much as it is, and everyone's like, I can't believe you're not on it. Enough is enough.
You're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
Enough is enough. What have I been saying for years around here, Josh? If they shut that friggin' social media off, the world would be a better place. I effing guarantee it. It's done nothing but harm. Nothing.
I can live without it.
But harm.
Absolutely.
TikTok seems like the one that you would waste the most time on.
Yeah.
That
is true.
Right?
A while back, a TikTok person posted a video of her boyfriend completing his fantasy football league's punishment. So this went up on TikTok in July, but for whatever reason, it just got noticed a couple days ago, and everybody's falling all over themselves. Apparently, this TikTok gal's boyfriend finished dead last in his fantasy football league last football season, so he had to up and undergo something called the 6x6 fantasy football punishment. And it goes like this here. You got to run 6 miles. You got to do 60 burpees. You got to eat 6 hot dogs. You got to smoke 6 cigarettes. You got to drink 6 beers. You got to play 6 holes of golf while wearing a skirt. And you got to complete all 6 of those challenges within 6 hours.
Man.
I would be dead.
No.
The 6 miles alone.
I was just going to say, what's the hardest of those?
Run 6
I couldn't
miles.
smoke a cigarette.
The burpees would be pretty tough, too.
Yes,
Yeah, the
burpees
6
too.
miles, there's no way.
I thought there was an easy answer to your question, Janelle, but maybe not. I originally thought running 6 miles.
No.
But 60 burpees, I don't even know what a burpee is anymore. I remember it said out loud at football pride. What is a burpee?
It's pukey.
It's pukey.
Yeah.
Well, you're standing up, you drop down to football position or a push-up position, then
Push-up
pop right
position.
back up.
Yeah, pop back
Forget
up.
that. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Those were tough even when I was in amazing shape.
Absolutely.
All of this sounds miserable. The 6x6 fantasy football punishment.
I'd rather just pull a name out of a hat and fight that person. Let's do that. And I don't care who it is.
Get it over quick.
Get it over quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this stuff is just going to continue to evolve until there are no survivors. These fantasy football punishments, because, these people playing fantasy football, they want to make a website. That's their goal.
Yeah.
Now. They want to be noticed as having the most brutal. Brad Ryder, you don't think you could smoke 6 cigarettes?
No, I would throw up.
You were never a cigarette smoker?
No.
Who here smokes cigarettes?
I have. I never did it regularly, but
Right.
I dated a smoker for a number of years, and when she'd pop out, sometimes I go out with her.
I still think it makes you look cool. Janelle, cigarettes?
I've never even
tried one. Josh,
No.
never tried one?
Nope.
See, Willi Myles?
No, cigar.
Cigars, yeah.
Yeah.
Big dog turds.
Love them.
I smoked cigarettes when I was a kid. Wanted it to be my regular thing. I would snatch my sister's cigarettes out of her bedroom and go out in the backyard, smoke some Camel Lights after 7th grade, 8th grade, let out. And I wanted it to be my regular thing. And right when I was getting good at it, my lung collapsed.
That's a sign.
Started kind of young. If you're 8th grade.
Too bad they don't warn you about that.
Unrelated. It was unrelated, but my lung collapsed. It was a horrible, what's the word I'm looking for? Ordeal.
Right.
And then I didn't have the balls to smoke after that.
What kind
Good
did
call.
you smoke?
Camel.
Camel lights.
Oh,
My
really?
sister had Camel lights in her bedroom, and I would steal 5, 6 of them.
That was next level. That was right under Winston's.
Yeah, yeah. Cools, Winstons, Camels. So there you go. Oh, man. Yeah, I thought I had it down. Then my right lung took a walk on me.
When I was 17 or 18, I threw a dip in for the first time, and I'm really thankful it didn't go well. So that I had that bad first experience. I never had the urge to try it again.
You lucky
Same
son of a
thing
bitch.
happened to me, Dana.
Mm-hmm.
Really? The dip?
Yep.
Yeah, I got dizzy. Was feeling nauseous. I was like, get this crap out of my mouth. I'm never doing this again.
What about dipping,
why-
C. Willie?
No. I was never a dipper, a backer, none of that. I was just I only did start cigars about 3 years ago.
Okay. Brad
And
Ryder,
I
you
don't do that every week.
Brad Ryder, you haven't had altogether positive experiences with tobacco in any form.
Same with Dana. One time I tried and was done. Dizzy, vomiting, no more.
Janelle, Copenhagen, Skoal, Kodiak, Grizzly. Which is your preferred?
What's your brand?
Red Man.
None, but embarrassingly, I used to be able to pack the can.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
From hanging out with your bros?
That's right.
Yeah. Wow.
I wish one of you had one. I'd like to try it again. It's been a long time.
He's going right there.
Stop it right now.
This is the fake stuff, but I can throw it to you.
I don't think I can do it anymore.
Janelle's going to try to pack
Yes, she
mine.
can. She
Okay, it
caught
was
that like a
this,
champ.
right? Like
Go
two-
ahead. Go ahead.
I can't do it.
Right up to the microphone so we can hear that snap.
There's no snap because
She
I
can't
can't
do
do it anymore. But I
You
mean,
throw it back
She was
here.
holding it right.
do it for me.
It
once,
sounds like
Joey.
this.
Oh yeah,
There it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
I almost made Cubby his pants once when I gave him a chew in studio.
Yeah, I had no idea I'd get the spins like that.
The spins.
Yeah, I was
He
not
was-
feeling too good.
He turned kind of a blue-green.
I boofed it.
And his head was spinning like a top.
Love it.
There's a person here that said they could, back to that 6 challenge, the 6x6 challenge, they could smoke 6 cigarettes at one time. Was that
Get it over
Slimer
with.
and Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
6 at all at once.
You could have put 6 heaters in my dad's yap when he was around. Jesus. He could smoke cigarettes, that guy. Dana, you lucky prick. Almost every day I say to myself, I wish I would have hated that first chew.
Yeah, why'd I have to like it so much?
But the first time I put that in my yapper, I was in love. And I said to myself, what have you been doing with your... I loved it.
Do you remember about how old you were?
Yeah. I mean, we started chewing the long leaf stuff, Red Man and Beech Nut and stuff like that. You know, to do the Rod Carew look, you know.
Oh, geez.
We started doing that when we were, 8th graders. But then I was a 10th grader when a dude passed me a can of Skoal at a hockey game. Try some of this. And I was a little apprehensive at first. And I said, well, I've never really done the canned stuff. I've done the pouch stuff. He said, just try it. I did. And it was like harps were playing. I got zero buzz. I just loved the taste. I wish I would have vomited all over everyone at that hop.
I always thought that was cool looking, chewing. You know, like when baseball players used to do it back in the day.
yeah.
We had big league
Rod
chew.
Carew used to wrap bubble gum around it.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Do it that way.
Yeah.
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 I used to always put my gum right in my lip just to make it look like I was chewing when I was little. I just thought it looked cool.
Here's Insomniac Jesus texting in. Does everyone remember the guy in the Guinness Book of World Records with about 118 cigarettes in his mouth? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And it sounds like the rest of you don't. Hey, here's something for you. The October 4th Golden Gopher football game at Suckass, Ohio State will kick off at 6:30. Okay, October 4th is a Saturday night. They'll play Ohio State at 6:30 p.m., televised on NBC. That's kind of a cool deal right there, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At Ohio State?
At Ohio State.
The Ohio
The
State.
Ohio State, yeah.
I think they call it the horseshoe or something stupid like that. A feller called Ludacris.
Luda.
Oh, my
love
wife
Luda.
is a huge
I've got a ludicrous story when you finish. Go ahead.
My wife has a like ludicrous T-shirts and sweatshirts. She's obsessed with the guy.
Luda.
I think I remember your... Brad, go ahead. Tell us your Ludacris story.
So I want to say it was back like maybe 2003, 2004 when Craig Kilborn had his late night show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I used to send him bobbleheads. That's when I worked for the Twins, and he put those bobbleheads on his desk.
Sure.
Like those Kirby Puckett bobbleheads. And I was out in California with a couple buddies, and we went to his show. And we were sitting in the green room, and the musical act that night was Ludacris. So Ludacris was in the green room with us, kind of chatting us up for about a half hour before the show.
That's awesome.
So you and Ludacris had a conversation.
We got tight for a while. Yeah.
I've heard he's a very, very nice man.
He is.
He is.
He's been invited to perform before the next North Carolina football game. One of Bill Belichick's favorites, I'm sure, Ludacris.
Or his girlfriend.
You know what I bet? Or his girlfriend probably loves Ludacris. Yeah. He might be even too old for her. You know what I mean?
wonder. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Because, I mean, I'm not a rap expert, but Ludacris has been around for a long time.
Minute.
Yeah.
I think that Bill Belichick.
Yeah, he's got to be almost 50, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Bill Belichick's girlfriend, I bet, isn't even tuned into Ludacris. She's into whoever's. Anyway, you know what I bet Bill Belichick listens to? Music? Just static.
Just silence.
Well, just static. You know, like in the old days when you'd put the needle on the record and you'd get a few seconds of static? That's how boring I believe Bill Belichick is, that he listens to static.
I literally thought that was a band.
There is Static X.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll be more clear next time. So Ludacris is going to perform before the next North Carolina football game, if you care. They play Clemson or somebody. And Ludacris accepted that invitation. He's going to play before the ball game. You've heard this kind of thing before. Apparently this Ludacris guy puts together one hell of a rider. Now, that's an industry term in case you don't follow. That's a list of items that some artists demand be available to them in order for them to perform. I'll get to that in just a minute. First off, it ain't bad being Ludacris. It says here, in trade for his performance, dude's going to get around $65,000 for a 15-minute show.
Ain't bad.
Wow.
That's $4,000 per minute, or roughly there.
Right.
You know what else I found out by hanging out with him
What?
for about a half hour?
What?
A farm kid from Clare City has nothing in common with him.
You didn't have a ton in common with Ludacris?
No. He was a great guy, and we had a nice conversation, but we have nothing in common.
Did you tell him you were from Clara City, Minnesota?
No. I did tell him I grew up on a farm, though. He asked.
I'm sorry?
I did tell him that I grew up on a farm, though, because he asked.
Oh, yeah. Did you know anything about farming?
No.
I bet you there's one thing he can grow.
Maybe.
Maybe a few.
Here's that rider I was telling you about. Before Ludacris takes the stage, the following items need to be available in his dressing room, and it more or less tells you that Ludacris likes to drink, and he's not interested in catching any more STDs than he's already acquired. On Ludacris's rider, he wants 2 bottles of Belvedere vodka, 2 bottles of Conjure Cognac, which is his personal brand, 2 bottles of Patron Silver, a bottle of red wine, a bottle of white wine, and 1 box of Trojan Magnum Condoms Ecstasy.
Hello.
Sounds like a party.
Sounds like he's not going straight home.
That does sound like he's not planning on going straight home from that show.
More proof we have nothing in common.
1 box of the Magnums, please.
And to be quite honest, when the rider is a lot of it is for the roadies.
Okay,
and
yeah.
the
So the
crew.
roadies get a drink.
Because
That's what I'd
sometimes
heard, too.
the people who are, you show up and you don't want half the stuff. You walk in there and go, "What is all this?" They're just the roadies are taking it.
The crew needs something to
The
drink.
crew is putting the list together.
Absolutely.
The crew might want to get a drink, something to eat, might get laid.
Right. Exactly.
The crew might get laid.
Yeah. Because you got to go through the crew to get to the star.
Right.
I think I'd order more than 1 box of condoms just for the cred.
Yeah.
More than just one.
Yeah, give me
condom.
3. I'll take 3.
3 boxes of condoms. This guy can pump.
I'm here for 2 days.
Right. Before we go, anyone here ever heard a high school fight song played by kazoos? Because Josh can provide that for you. A high school fight song played by kazoos. funny.
No way that team won.
They won.
Your band is playing kazoos.
They won by a touchdown, C. Willie.
Get out of town.
Yes, they did. That bit was put together by Memphis Central High School in Memphis, Tennessee. They have one of the best high school marching bands in the entire country. As a matter of fact, they won a world championship at one point.
Dang. Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, no wonder they can play kazoos.
Yeah.
They can play anything.
At their recent game against a rival school called Brighton High School, and the game was played at Brighton, the Brighton principal or whoever makes these decisions said, hey, Memphis Central High School, your band isn't invited to play here. Just being dicks because they're rivals. They said, your world-class, world championship marching band is not allowed to bring their instruments and play in our bleachers. That's how deep this rivalry is. So the Memphis kids had a clever idea. Fine, you don't want me bringing my drums and my French horn and my trumpet and my saxophone. Josh plays the saxophone.
Never had one lesson.
So
confirmed.
The Memphis Central High School band said, oh, you want to be dicks? We can be dicks too. We'll still play our fight song in the stands, but with kazoos.
Yeah, they won. They won that for
Hell
sure.
yeah, so they sounded pretty good.
The Spike Kazoo.
They won the game and the battle of the bands.
Yes, they did.
Good Lord.
Oh, man. All right, Brad Ryder, we're going to close this sumbitch down. What day is it? It's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
You know, it's a 4-day work week for the Half-Ass Morning Show.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a 4-day work week for me, too.
That's right. Oh, really?
Ooh, that's right.
Yeah.
What is it, like an MEA type thing, or what's going on? My kid's got a day off, too.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't have kids in school anymore.
I think it's a religious holiday.
You just got a day off and you're not sure why?
Well, no, I'm talking about coming on with you.
We thought you meant your real job.
We thought you meant your real job.
No, I'm coming on because Randy can't take care of kids.
Gotcha. Right. How is the real job going so far?
Pretty good.
That's good.
Not bad. Yeah. Nobody's
trouble.
dropped out of my classes yet. So.
Okay.
Need any guest lecturers?
Maybe.
Yeah.
What are you going to talk about?
C. Willie's a world-class entertainer.
He sure is.
You need a statement to be made over there, you call C. Willie. Thanks, Brad Ryder.
Okay, see ya.
We'll talk to you tomorrow, and we'll return in a few minutes with more from C. Willie Myles and Janel Klein here on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Hey, podcast pals. Dana here to give you a friendly reminder that now is the best time to get your furnace tuned up before we take a shot to the face with cold Minnesota weather. My pals at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning currently have same-day and next-day openings, but they won't last long. By the time October rolls around, if your furnace craps out, you'll be freezing your private parts off while dealing with side eye from your significant other and pets for not calling sooner. So give Standard Heating and Air Conditioning a call today. Check this out. You can save up to $70 on your tune-up with Standard Heating. Visit standardheating.com. That's standardheating.com to book today.
Ever wonder how dark the world can really get?
Well, we dive into the twisted, the terrifying, and the true stories behind some of the world's most chilling crimes.
Hi, I'm Ben.
And I'm Nicole.
Together, we host Wicked and Grim, a true crime podcast that unpacks real-life horrors one case at a time.
With deep research, dark storytelling, and the occasional drink to take the edge off,
We're here to explore the wicked
and reveal the grim. We are Wicked and Grim.
Follow and listen on your favorite podcast platform.
You're listening to the radio. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Our best damn friends have joined us this morning. We love them very much. It's world-class entertainer C. Willie Myles and world-class television actress Janel Klein. What's going on with you guys? Thinking about it, huh, Janel?
Yeah, I don't have any great news.
Are you chillaxing?
I am
perhaps?
chillaxing,
Yeah,
kind
you gotta
of.
chillax.
Yeah.
On the weekends, you like to kick it?
I do like to kick it, so when, the weekdays roll around,
You chillax.
you chillax.
You gotta chillax.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right. You know, we were talking about riders a few minutes ago. Rapper Ludacris is putting on a show this coming weekend at the University of North Carolina football game. I guess before the ball game, Ludacris is going to put on a show. And we talked about his rider, and it was basically just loads and loads of alcohol and a box of oversized condoms. That's all he needs to put on a show. Sounds like a simple enough guy. You know, being in this miserable business for 30 years, I've certainly heard of ridiculous riders written up by bands or their managers, their crew, whoever's. A few people texted in, see Willie Myles, and wanted to know, when you go on tour and you go club to club, what's involved, what's in your rider?
Well, I do, actually. I can tell you exactly what's in my rider because,
Is it going to cost us a lot of money?
No.
Okay.
It's my rider, but I had an agency that I was with before. It was ridiculous. But what I have now is literally 4 bottles of room temperature water.
Okay.
Dark chocolate. Coffee with cream and sugar. That's literally it.
That's it.
Dark chocolate, but I won't Ghirardelli.
I'm sorry? You won't what?
Ghirardelli.
That's a brand?
Ghirardelli, yeah.
Ghirardelli dark chocolate?
Yes. It's the best.
4 bottles of room temperature water, some dark chocolate, and some coffee.
That's it. That's all I need. I eat on my own.
Okay.
Before I had a rider that had all kinds of snacks and foods and desserts, and you walk in there and it's just you.
Yeah.
And there's enough food in there for 12 people.
I'd be the size of a house by the time my tour was over. If I was able to write up my rider, let's say I was going on tour for some ungodly reason, and hopefully that never happens, I'd be the size of a house by the time the tour is over because I would demand lots and lots of cookies and donuts.
Right.
I would want a cooler full of Steve Weisers, mixed nuts, maybe even D's nuts.
Oh, right.
Josh knows that I love.
It's the Ghirardelli of nuts right there.
Right.
Maybe a couple cans of Grizzly or Skoal. That stuff is expensive. But it'd be, sweets, beer, and D's nuts. Janel Klein, what if you were to, I challenged Janel while we were playing that old Motley Crue song. I said, let's say you were going on tour. It's the Janel Ski World Tour. What would your rider consist of?
I mean, thank you for asking.
Of course.
It's the first. It might be the first time anyone's ever asked me what would I want.
You're a controversial live act.
Right.
That's you. You're going across the country touring. What would
it be?
Yeah.
I mean, I will say in my real job, most of the time, I feel grateful if we get like a bathroom and like a 5-minute break to like buy some candy at a gas station or whatever.
Wow.
So this would be like, I don't even know where I would start. But I think I would be, like C. Willie saying, I would be pretty simple. And you, so candy for sure.
Ooh.
Like there's a lot of candy that I think I would probably want.
Oh, what's the Bit of Honey?
Bit of Honey.
You love
for
Bit
sure.
of Honey, yeah.
Yeah, like Milk Duds, red licorice. And then I'm with you, like baked goods. Like it wouldn't have to be a lot if it would just like be a sheet cake.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's somebody's birthday.
Yeah.
But it's
I think
really...
I mentioned last week that my wife is almost violent and aggressive when it comes to sheet cake. If you have a party, there better be one.
Yes.
Or she's going to at least give you a stern talking to.
There's trouble.
Yeah. Wow.
So I agree with that.
What about, you going to do any drinking back there?
I'm not a huge drinker. So
but you're on tour. You know.
If I'm on
you got
tour, maybe.
Get in character, Janel.
Yeah. I
like
think
a nice Prosecco or
something after the show. Right?
Okay. After.
But I'd keep it pretty simple. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I've like seen riders from entertainers before, and some of them are very specific.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm only going to have this color of M&Ms, and I'm only going to have...
That's to test if they're reading
Probably.
it, right?
I think there's like some little,
Van
whatever.
Halen deal?
Yeah.
The old Van Halen story about the M&Ms. Oh, yeah. Over the years, we've read some pretty ridiculous stuff. Now, of course, some of it could be a joke, like the Van Halen thing.
Yeah.
Just to test to see how thorough the arena manager, whoever they are, who's in charge of the rider. But we've read some things about some singers who don't allow eye contact and just the most insane,
it's crazy,
different, elaborate, expensive furniture that needs to be added to their dressing room. They can't. This, like they're thinking, this ass, this $1 billion ass, this just isn't going to sit in a regular chair.
Yeah.
You got to bring me in the
recliners.
Oh, God.
Maybe just to establish their dominance.
That's what I was going to say, just because they can.
I would like a single peeled grape on a velvet pillow. And I need someone dressed as a wizard to wordlessly nod at me before I go on stage.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I've had, I've worked with some people that I went into their dressing rooms and it's wild.
Yeah.
You know, and I just, they always say, yeah, you could, whatever you want. I'm like, I don't want that. You know?
Yeah.
And trust me, I got fat on tour one time, touring with people. You know, the food that they bring in, you don't want it, but you stand in line and it is good.
Yeah.
And you put it on your plate, but it's already 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then you go straight to bed.
Yeah.
You know, and you wake up in the morning and you're at 6:30 radio and you're eating donuts again. So you just,
That's the life, in my opinion.
I got fat.
Late night eating and then force donuts down my throat when I'm conscious again. Yeah, there's some characters out there. Josh and I, of course, have been, backstage for concerts.
Oh, I'm sure you guys have.
We've seen the dressing room, and I guess we covered this not that long ago. It's not as wild as it used to be. But even in the wilder days, Josh, what I learned was some of these bands who you think, okay, I'm about ready to go backstage with this band, I should brace myself. There's going to be naked women swinging from the rafters. There are going to be hard drugs and booze everywhere. You'd be surprised how reasonable some of these supposedly insane rock stars are. You go backstage, they've got a vegetable tray.
Right.
Yep. They've got
hummus.
Yeah, hummus and fat-free.
The perfect example of that was Marilyn Manson. That was the show with Marilyn Manson and Gary Hoey, a great guitar player who was treated very poorly by the crowd, unfortunately. Oh. And I remember thinking, too, I don't know if I want to go backstage. Marilyn Manson, it's gonna be insane.
Yeah, you're expecting the worst.
And that was the most boring backstage experience I've ever had. No offense to Mr. Manson, but yeah, it was all health food laid out on a table.
Yeah.
And a lot of really bored people sitting on really gross couches.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
You get, it's easy to fall into the line of thinking, you see their videos, you hear the stories of,
right.
And then, you expect when you go backstage, they're going to be sacrificing a virgin while smoking crack rocks. And it's.
I have a friend who works at a venue here in town, and part of her responsibilities is collecting everything for the band's riders,
Oh, that is her gig.
Yeah, going out and buying all this stuff. And she says she's amazed. I go, do you get annoyed by having to go pick all this stuff up? She goes, no, because honestly, most of it just comes home with me because they don't touch it.
Right.
They get all this booze, all this food, and they don't touch a damn thing.
No.
And she's not paying for it?
No.
She's bringing home buckets of hooch. Buckets of hooch and donuts and candy. And
yeah, they said they'll just leave some stuff there for next time, somebody wants a 1.75 of JD. But other than that, yeah, she says she goes home with a lot of it.
I just thought of something I want added to my rider. Aside from a cooler of beer, donuts, cookies, chewing tobacco, and D's nuts. And I think we're all going to add it. Josh, we never heard your rider, but here's what. How about every town I go to, when I walk in my dressing room, a laundry basket full of puppies.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
A laundry basket
with their
full
papers.
Yes. Well, no, I don't want to keep them. I just want them to be part of my... Yeah, and I lay on my back on the floor of the dressing room.
I love it.
Yeah, and they're hungry and they're starving for attention, and we all eat D's nuts together, me and the puppy. Do you have any ideas, Josh, on how Cubby
Well, definitely Diet Mountain Dew.
Oh.
Probably a taco bar.
Oh. That guy's going big.
Fancy on us.
That's a good idea.
Nick to help me gain the courage to go on stage.
You do not like to go on stage.
Oh, God, no. And, your puppy thing inspired me. I want one of those. I want a room filled with framed photos of cats with inspirational phrases.
Oh, to get you fired up?
Yeah, the hang in there, that kind of stuff.
Oh, my God. Cats.
This is really lame, but I think if I had one, I would want fresh pairs of socks. There's nothing better than just a fresh, brand new, out of the bag pair of socks.
Very comfortable. Very comfortable.
It's not sexy, but it's practical.
Yeah, I don't want to keep them. I just want to wear them in the dressing room.
Yeah. Some lounging around socks.
The friggin' taco bar. Do you lose your cool if the taco meat has gotten cold? You turn the whole sumbitch over?
No, I'm okay.
Then
I'm not that high maintenance.
You slug an entire bottle of Diet Mountain Dew. You're struggling to get it down.
We had, at my 50th birthday party, we had a taco bar, and I don't think the meat was ever warmed up. And I was fine with that.
Good.
Classic Country Jesus has sent us his rider. If he was on tour, sign me up for a taco buffet. beef stroganoff, mashed potatoes, cashews, a few Polish sausages with kraut, lots of beer, and some Reese's Pieces.
Oh, man.
I'm assuming that's
Gas.
after the concert.
Oh, beef stroganoff. I forgot about. I love beef stroganoff. We used to have that when we were growing up quite a bit. I got to get some of that. Give me some.
Yeah.
Stroganoff.
Some of these supposed bad boys on tour. Look out. Lock up your daughters. They're coming to your town.
Or like yoga mats, and now it's a lot of health stuff.
Kettlebells.
$300 bottles of pure water that dripped off of the glacier in Antarctica and all this hippie dippy.
Oh,
yeah.
I do remember that from Marilyn Manson again. I've only been backstage a couple of times, and that's the one that stood out because, like you said, I was completely shocked on how different it was. Like, I can handle that backstage experience. But I don't even remember the name. It was like really the fanciest bottles of water I'd ever where I thought it was like a vodka or something. But our promotions director at the time was like, no, that's so-and-so water. It's like $30 a bottle. It was crazy. I can't imagine it's that much different.
Oh, man.
Speaking of backstage, one of my favorite lines from Wayne's World 2 is they're trying to get backstage because Wayne's girlfriend Cassandra is back there. And she tells the guy, hey, my girlfriend's back there. And he just looks at him and goes, hey, pal. A lot of people's girlfriends are back there.
Yeah. Yeah, there was only one. I don't know if maybe I shouldn't say their name. There was only one band that I remember, having to go backstage beforehand because I was going to do a stage announcement. There was only one that kind of fit the cliche, They were towards the end of their run. Well, maybe they were even past their prime, but their backstage area was filthy. It smelled awful. There were just a couple cases of warm beer sitting out, not in a cooler. There were 3 or 4 really tired-looking groupies back there waiting on them. I mean, these gals looked like they were seconds away from death or expiration. And so it kind of fit the cliche. They were this sleazy... Their reputation was this sleazy, disgusting rock band, and their backstage area kind of matched it. They didn't even, like I said, they didn't even have the beer in a cooler. The groupies looked like they had one more run in them, and that's it. And also, one other thing I noticed, there was a bowling ball in a bag.
Huh.
So one of the members of the band, I guess, liked to bowl when he had some free time. And a few minutes ago, well, more than that, earlier on we were talking about hacky sacks, messing around with the hacky sack. Josh and I used to do it, had fun with it. And on the topic of, hard rock and metal, Josh, how metal is this? One of our listeners texted in to say that he used to play hacky sack with a chainmail hacky sack.
Oh, wow.
I didn't even know they had such a thing.
Why would that exist?
I bet his calves were just yoked.
Yeah.
This thing weighs 30 pounds.
That's friggin' metal right there. That's metal. Not some beans in a whatever, whatever it was wrapped in, wool or I don't know.
By the way, you didn't mean to see Willie, but you made me feel quite guilty that I don't think we've ever provided anything for you when you've come in studio. We don't have the budget for it. No food. I know some radio stations do that. It's not the same.
Write down that brand of dark chocolate. We'll have it
We'll
next
get
time.
that for now.
Yeah.
There's a place right by me that sells it. I'll get it for
We'll get Janel some
There you
bit.
go.
The Half-Assed Morning Show.
Minnesota's 93X.
Yeah. We're going to close things out here any minute. Our guests this morning, C. Willi, Myles, and Janel Klein. We're going to close this pig out any minute. There are still some text messages pouring in. Josh, apparently you can get your hands on a chainmail hacky sack at the Renaissance Festival.
Oh, they sell all the cool stuff over there.
We were talking about a chainmail hacky sack.
So ridiculous.
That's awesome.
Riders. People are still texting in. You have something to say, Josh? I'm sorry.
I want one shaped like a mace. Maybe you only use it once, like if we're going back to Renaissance stuff or whatever, you find at the Renaissance Festival. Just a big spiky metal ball.
Yeah.
Oh,
digs into the tops of your feet as you're kicking it around. More text coming in on riders. The list of demands that bands and celebrities have when they come to town. They need you to get them this, and this for their backstage area, for their dressing room. A listener claims that Martin Lawrence used to request that they put together some kind of a basketball court at any arena that he played at, somewhere in the backstage. That sounds awesome. I'd love to play basketball with Martin Lawrence.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Play little hoops. I bet I could reject a few of his shots. He's not the
without
tallest.
doubt.
Yeah.
Well,
We're big fans. Josh and I both, we love
Oh, he's great.
I'd play hoops.
Do you have any stories about Martin Lawrence? Do you really
not for radio.
Understood.
See Willi Myles.
He's a good guy, though.
I'm glad to hear
He seems like it. I get. Hopefully, we're not forgetting.
I don't have
something
anything bad to say about his character.
I'm glad to hear that. See, Willi, you mentioned earlier when you put together a rider, when you're touring, very simple. You want 4 room temperature bottles of water, a little bit of coffee, and a certain brand of dark chocolate. It's here right in front of me. Ghirardelli? Ghirardelli.
Yeah.
One of our listeners texted in and said you should try Wild Harvest dark chocolate. It's better than Ghirardelli.
Yeah, it is. Just has a bad aftertaste. I don't like that. So when I'm on stage, ma'am or sir, you're right. It is.
Yeah.
But it's the aftertaste.
You've tried it.
I've tried different types of dark chocolate, and this is the one I've landed on because I really liked it.
Okay.
And I've tried, my wife is like an expert chocolate person. She'll go buy me all these different types of dark chocolate, and if whatever one I land on, that's the one I like. And before I go on stage, I want just that taste.
Janelle loves candy. Are you familiar with this?
I am. Yes.
Ghirardelli? Okay.
Yep.
If Martin Lawrence were to eat some dark chocolate, Nick,
Oh,
what
man.
would he do?
He would chomp it up.
He would chomp it up.
One of our listeners texted in with their personal rider if they ever go on a world tour. Cold canned beer, bologna sandwiches on white bread, a dartboard with Kip Winger's face on it.
Oh, wow.
That's a reference to that old video. What was that Metallica video where they had Kip Winger's face on a dart?
Kip brought that up recently. Or I shouldn't say I watched a documentary about Winger recently, and he brought that up like, I just didn't get it. Well, why was I getting so much crap over that?
Metallica used to have a dartboard hanging on the wall at least one night, and they had Kip Winger's face on a dartboard. We didn't appreciate that, Josh and I, Winger fans. And finally, this listener would want Mike Tyson's Punch-Out on an old box television.
Oh, that would be fun. Especially the box television, the old tube TVs. Mm-hmm. Because you can emulate it now and play it on your flat screen, but it's just not quite the same.
Can you really? That's cool.
See, Willi, tell us about your show last weekend at
Crooners.
You were saying off air that you met a lot of listeners. You had a great time.
Ton of half the room. I would venture to guess half the room was 93X listeners, and I just always appreciate the fact that they show up, man. Mm-hmm. They really do. Everywhere I go, I was down in Iowa, they were there. I mean, they're in Indiana. Everywhere I go, I get people to tell me that it's either podcast or just listening to radio.
Right.
You know?
Oh, it's very cool.
And so anytime I'm out at Crooners, I always get a nice representation of 93X listeners.
That's awesome.
And they're very proud to come up and let me know that
Good.
they hear me on there.
Good.
So,
well, I'll tell you what,
I
we got.
appreciate it.
I was telling you off air, we got a bunch of texts from people that went to your most recent show and said how much fun they had. Like California Transplant Jesus said, "Tell C. Willi I was at a show Saturday night, right up front and center with his smoking hot blonde fiance."
Yes, she was a riot.
Oh, so you know exactly who we're talking about?
Absolutely. I took pictures with them after the show.
He said that was her first ever comedy show and had an awesome time.
She sounded like she was a pro. Like she'd been to a lot. She laughed. Her laugh was infectious.
Oh, that's cool.
Those are the kind of people you want sitting at your show when they're laughing. And she, like my wife said, she laughed before you started talking, and she started laughing because she knew it was going to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, that's good because I didn't even know it was going to be funny.
I'm always happy to hear that the brother and sisterhood supports you.
Oh, my God.
See Willi Myles. They're very supportive of us. I mean, we had such a great time last Friday on our booze cruise. So many wonderful compliments headed our way. So
the only problem I have is that they always tell me their handles, and I can't remember. They're too long.
You got to start writing it down.
I know. I'm going to start recording it.
Yeah.
Because the one, he had like a 5-name Jesus name.
Yeah, like only poops in warehouse bathrooms at noon on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Some of those are my favorites. So.
Yeah.
Like hot and spicy, crunchy, nutty, tasty, chewy Jesus.
Yeah, see? They're so funny. I go, man, there's no way I'm going to remember that. But I'll just say I met a weird Jesus name guy.
That's right. All right, we got to go. Janel, where are you drinking tonight?
Where am I not drinking?
Oh, you like to make the rounds.
You hop around.
Yeah.
Thanks, Janelle. Thanks, C. Willie.
Thanks,
guys.
Chaos coordinator Jesus texts a shout out for her classmate named Mike Roch. So hope Mr. Roch hasn't. Oh, son of a. Happy
gotcha.
58th to listening before you were hired, Jesus, and have an awesome Tuesday, everybody.
You're listening to the radio. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Hey, podcast pals. Dana here to give you a friendly reminder that now is the best time to get your furnace tuned up before we take a shot to the face with cold Minnesota weather. My pals at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning currently have same-day and next-day openings, but they won't last long. By the time October rolls around, if your furnace craps out, you'll be freezing your private parts off while dealing with side-eye from your significant other and pets for not calling sooner. So give Standard Heating and Air Conditioning a call today. Check this out. You can save up to $70 on your tune-up with Standard Heating. Visit standardheating.com. That's standardheating.com to book today.